And here we are. Good morning, everybody. Ooh. Okay, sound check. We are trying StreamYard one more time with the new camera. Now, I need an audio check. Is it sound like an old radio show? Is it clear? Is our connection okay? All of that. Let's do a check first. We're live on Instagram and Facebook and here on YouTube. How are we sounding? Somebody let me know in the chat. It's okay. You sound clear. Better than last time? Hope so. Snorlet. I can hear his voice when he comments. It's okay. Good morning. Good morning, Wheel Burner channel member. Donald Peck. Good morning. Thanks for coming in. Crystal, of course, was first channel member. Thank you. And Snorlord is here. Good morning. God bless you guys. I hope you are having a beautiful morning. I am in the sunshine in Georgia and ready to have a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee because we have things to do today. And I think I have to drive. Still contemplating it if I want to take the chance or not, but I'll probably just do it just because. But I do want to take a shower and get some laundry done so I'm fresh for the week. And so I took my time getting up this morning, took Dee Dee for a walk. We played much ball this morning. Many throws of the ball. I wanted to see how many we could go until she got worn out. And we were out there a good hour. And I found a little chair. And so I got a good 45 minutes of sun and grounding. I took off my shoes and touched the ground while I was sitting in this lovely little chair and trying the grounding thing. They say it's important that you touch the earth with your feet. So the sun is so beautiful. I'm off in a piece of the yard over here that appeared clean and probably there's no pesticides on it and whatnot. And it was by the edge of the woods. So it was kind of nice. I got to hear the woods and smell the woods and all of that. So I tried that since I have a chance for the morning. And I'm feeling good. I got a good at least 30 to 40 minutes of sun on my face, which felt great. Yes, good morning, sunshine. DIY Semi is in the house. YouTube is being weird. Why? Tell me what's going on. The last live last Sunday was a crap show because of the audio. I got this new webcam. It's supposed to be the bomb for web meetings and whatnot. And the audio was so bad on the show last week. Guys, I'm sorry. I need to know what YouTube is doing. What are you doing at my home? I'm stalking Sterling. Yeah, I'm over here at the Pilot in Valdosta. I have the option of leaving and finishing a 240-mile drive to get to Lakeland.
If I sit here long enough to finish my 34, I will need to drive straight to Lakeland in order to make my load on time Monday morning at 9 a.m. Um, if I don't make it, because I know right when you get around Lakeland, the traffic gets a little nuts. So I'm probably just going to say, screw it. Mom isn't near you this weekend. Where is she? I was thinking about, if she's close by or not. I did tell Butt Brown that I'm here, and he said, yeah, you're close. I need to find the lid to my coffee, or I'll probably spill something. Anyway, Greenville. Oh, okay. Good morning, Superstar, Jerome Jones says, channel member. Well, when I first came in, it was in landscape mode, but I couldn't see the chat. And then I came back in its vertical mode, and I'm not seeing everyone in the chat. Okay, Ricochet Vic, good morning. So here's what I'm trying on StreamYard right now, guys. So we're doing all three locations to stream. Instagram will shut down after an hour. Just that's what I figured out. So, which is lame. Instagram, you're lame. And so I set my settings to the mic and the camera on the Logitech webcam that I'm sitting at my laptop using right now. And oh, that's awesome. I'll announce that in a second. So StreamYard gives you the chance to try the new advanced feature, the expensive one. And it gives you the option on YouTube to choose orientation of vertical or live, okay? Or you can choose both. So I chose both to see how this goes, all right? It's only showing 7 people in the chat. Probably because there's only 7 people in the chat. You're missing out on this cold, snowy weather out here. Exactly. That's why I'm down here. First of all, let me give a shout out to DIY Semi at his channel. He says he's announcing there is a big live show this afternoon with Paul. Paul's super fun, and lots of good info is going to be on there. So make sure you tune in to DIY. What time is it, DIY? So we can let the folks know. It's only showing 7 people. Okay. Oh, Tolga's in the house. Mars multi-aspect ratio stream. Okay, so this is a big step for me trying all this stuff. I just want to be normal, man. I want to make a normal stream, and the universe is against me every time. DIY Semi show is going to be around 3-ish. He will announce it. Okay, well, forgive me for announcing it, but since everybody's in here, I'm going to let everybody know to be looking out for that. You don't see Tolga or DIY. Okay, so let's do this experiment. So DIY, are you watching vertically or horizontally? Tolga, same question for you. You're on vertical. Okay. Yes, Chicken Hawk does live in Florida. We haven't set a time yet. Okay, just set your alarms for DIY Semi's channel if you haven't already, so you can get the notification of when he comes on live with Paul. Horizontally, I'm on the computer. Okay, so Tolga's probably on his computer too. And I'm going to assume Wheelburner is on the phone. I think it actually shows me who's on the phone. There's a little icon next to like Tolga's name. It has like a vertical rectangle. Is that right, Tolga? Are you on the phone? And Jerome, it doesn't have the symbol. DIY Semi does not have the symbol. So he did say he was on the computer. So then we have to hypothesize that Wheelburner's on the phone, and he can't see Tolga or DIY. That's strange. Angry Otter reacts is in the house saying, howdy, all you crazy cool kids just popping in, hit that like button. Thank you. Hit the like on the way in or out. Appreciate you guys. We'll figure this out, I guess. I'm sure Sterling's on the case right now. So that's what I did in the settings, and here we are. Okay. All right. Here we are. Each live has its own audience. Right. But on YouTube, I did vertical and horizontal. So I guess it depends on how you're coming in. Big Dog Truckers in the house saying good morning. Good morning, Big Dog. Donald Peck wants to see Snorlord stand on his head. Then all the blood would rush to his head, and then what? Then he's got a headache, and then he's going to get all crabby. There's Dee Dee saying good morning. So I ran away from the snow, and I ran away from the weather, and I was supposed to be home this weekend for a baby's birthday. It is Winter, the little girl. It is her second birthday. And all them babies we had, remember, guys, they're all turning 2, and they're all in their terrible 2s. Trust me. So that's what's going on. But I didn't want to go through that band of weather. Now, I just got out of the shop on Thursday. So by the time, it was late afternoon. So, for Monday, or I'm sorry, for Friday, I needed to find a good load. I needed to try to recoup the week as much as I could. So I needed a couple $1,000s on, one run. And the only option that fit and where I was at in Nashville was a load to Florida. So I was like, cool. I'm not going through all that weather up there. Sorry, Jerome. I warned my family and I ran south. Big Dog Trucker says, I did too. I'm in Florida, nice and warm. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day here in Valdosta, Georgia. I'm getting close to Florida. I figured at minimum I would stop here, get my shower, get my laundry done, and then head down. Now it's going to cut my next week short because I'm not, I just started my clock again on Friday, which is not my usual schedule, but I don't want to be late for the load. And I don't want to press it. Like I'm so close to being able to take my 34. If I could guarantee that I could drive straight there with no hiccups, I would make it with 30 minutes to go and complete my 34. Like I really want to do that, but it's such a risk. And then they're going to be like, dude, you had 4 days on this load. How are you late? I can't. That's what I'm struggling with right now. Artie Champs in the house saying, good morning. What did I miss? Got go to church, folks. They're getting ready for church. Some people that do go to church still get to catch the live, have a cup of coffee with me, and then go to church because their church starts at like 11 a.m. Wheelburner, you know what? Wheelburner, do you want to come in? Do you want to come in and talk about that lovely news? Lou says, can you say a prayer for my dad, Gabe, owner? Lord, I pray for Lou's dad, Gabe, owner, right now, whatever he's going through, that you touch him and surround him with your grace and favor and bless him in Jesus' name. Amen. Big Dog Trucker says, I'm in Wildwood and I have delivery in Cocoa Beach at 2 p.m. Okay. So I decided to stop in Valdosta because I was like, if I do decide to take my 34, then maybe I'm going to call Buck or Sterling on Sunday and be like, yo, bros, what's up? Take me out to eat, right? Or something like that. Or see mom, right? I thought mom might have been around. So I was thinking of that. And then I keep battling with myself, like, I better not take the chance to be late on that load. Like, I will look so stupid. because I know right when you get almost to the spot, man, that's when traffic gets nuts. And we're talking about Monday morning. I already know. Sterling says traffic is really bad in Florida this time of year. Add 1 to 2 hours on your ETA to Lakeland. Yeah, so if I get my chores done here first, then I'm all cleaned up and I got all that done. Then I can just go straight to the rest area, because trust me, the rest areas are where it's at for me when I come to Florida. Me and Dee Dee can play all day long. So then we can just hang out by the rest area, and then I have plenty of time. But I am going to get cut short this week, which is fine. Maybe I can pace it out. Who knows? The most important thing I'm trying to do, though, is capitalize on this weekend, because my shop bill was $3,700. And the very same day that I got released from the shop, the driver of Rosie called and said he needs two new steer tires, shocks, which is probably why the steer tires are messed up, and he's due for a PM also, and an alignment will come with those steer tires by my preference. And then since I realized that, hey, these DPF systems need to be maintained, and since I bought that truck a year ago, it hasn't been done. And it's one of the things that hasn't been done. Lots been done, but that hasn't been done. So if he's willing to go in the shop, then, you know, I told him we should probably get that done too. So I'm looking at another couple thousands of dollars coming out, right? When it rains, it pours is where my mind's at right now, but it's okay. It's got to be done, and we'll be in great shape for next year. So it's whatever. We'll just get it done. Trucks is a never-ending journey of reaching into your wallet. Yeah, it's just cash. You just cash flow, right? You're just revolving cash. That's what I've come to figure out. 37 RD Champ says 3,700 just became over 5K. Oh yeah, easily. But if you remember, RD Champ, I told you guys last Sunday the audio was terrible, but before I even went to the shop, I got 4 new rims and 2 new tires on my trailer. Okay, that was $1,900. So 3,700 plus 1,900, and now whatever he's gonna spend, that's what we're talking about for December. You know what I'm saying? Chief Ray Holler says was probably done by the dealer before offered sale. Yeah, you'd want to believe that. You'd want to believe that, but I doubt it. I doubt it. When you buy a used truck from a used international dealership in Columbus, at least I can say this because that's where I got mine. They do like a 28-point inspection or whatever they boast about, right? But we did have to take Rosie into the shop, have my shop go over it with the international whisperer, who is Zach, who is my awesome mechanic. And he found several things that we had to go back to them about. And they did pass it on a DOT, and it was not DOT passable. Okay. So you'd like to think that, but it didn't happen. I'm also super excited about, hold on, I don't want to get too behind in the comments. Tits or tires, they're both cost a fortune. Oh, that's a good comment. Big Trucker says, trucks and boats are like holes for your money that never fills up. Ethan Stan 3553 says hello to USA. Hello, Ethan. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so I was going to say something I was super excited about. I forget. Maybe it'll come back to me. I'm going to drop the link in case, you know, Wheelburner wants to come in and talk about warm, sunny things. Wink, wink. If I can remember, how do you drop the link? How do you drop that link? Add a person? Oh, there it is. Copy. You can stream this to your own destination too, I guess. Let's see how this works. It's spinning, wheeling. Did it post? Cheap dollars is when all the money comes in and all the money goes out. Ain't no fun. You just shave a little for yourself off the top each time, right? RD Champ says, okay, but necessity. The tires, okay. The tires were necessity. The wheels were preference. It's funny. Go ahead and get those new rims. No, I'm like, hey, I'm here at the TA. I'm on my 34. They're not doing nothing. I have some time. These shiny white new rims are right in front of me. Here's my chance. I'd been thinking about it for a long time. I pulled the trigger. And Cumberland, you know, but that's what happens. So I put up a link for Wheel Burner if you want to come in here, Wheel Burner, or anybody else. I think we can have up 10 people. That's not crazy, but you know. Link is posted, but people can't click on that. Whoever is in vertical lives chat, they have to come over to the horizontal one. Okay. Yeah, pilot may not have one. Okay, here we go. We're going to try again. If you want to click the link, go to horizontal stream, folks. Oh, you have a choice? You can choose, Tolga. Links can't be clickable here in vertical. Copy. Email. Maybe I have it to burner. I don't know. Somebody help me. Anyways, so that's what happened to me last week. I didn't make any money and I had to spend all the money. And then the driver calls. He says, hey, let's do a bunch of this. Like, oh. I wanted to a couple of times, but only money. We're gonna make more. I'm out walking, so want to get done. I might still be here. I got a 3/4 cup of coffee. Link is posted both chats simultaneously. Don't worry. Okay. So if anybody wants to come in and talk about how trucks take your money, you're welcome to use the link. It's been a long time since I had somebody else on while the same time I'm on. So anyway, if you're not busy, you know, come on in. So I'm running down a wind. I'm gonna try to do the. I'll probably and we're gonna try to do the cars we'll have a link in my go visit Texas. It's been a while since I've been to Texas. I'm thinking about crazy stuff like that. I was looking at rates to Texas. I'm about $2. Who knows what it's like coming back? Doesn't look good coming back. I tried to do a scenario. You know, maybe I run up to grab my album back to Jacksonville. Something, you know, that's kind of what's in my mind. So I missed the baby's birthday. I called. That's the day. Told him, hey, I'm not. Just 8 batteries in the truck. 8 new batteries. Oh, praise the Lord. The truck is running great. It started the last night. The truck was restarting 2 hours to shut out. It's really starting. And are we back? Are we here? Somebody say hi. I'm not on the phone. I'm on the laptop. I'm trying to do real studio action here. I preview of your broadcast. Okay. Okay. I'm doing. You know, your live is super glitchy. Apparently, your is good. Okay, are we better now? Great, man. I don't think the Lord wants me to do lives. Is Kamal in here? Kamal? Are you in here? Hey, Kamal. Yeah, where you been, Kamal? I haven't seen you in a long time. Anyway, I don't know where I cut out at, but I'm staying south. I'm staying away from the weather. That's that. Until that Arctic blast. Did you guys see this DIY? Or if you're still in here, I'm afraid for you. I'm afraid for my entire family up there. They're saying it's supposed to go to like 40 degrees below zero, like temperature. That's what I saw in Ryan Hall, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What is the solution here? Like, I need a good freaking solid internet connection. It's probably because I'm getting this bunch of stupid. Oh, my daughter called, you guys. My daughter called. That's probably what happened. And I get a million notifications. Okay. I cleared them all out. Let's see if that's better. Switch to podcast mode. How do I do that? I need to go to freaking media school. Anyways, so we're here, we're in the sun. I got some sun. I touched the earth. I get a leisurely drive. I get to deliver my load tomorrow. My week will be cut short, but I'm just going to do the best I can. That's all you can do. I use a USB to phone for my computer. Oh, you can do that? Does that give it a stronger internet connection? Okay. I have so much to learn. So that's what's been going on with me. I'm back rolling. I'm happy to be back trucking. Don't want to see no freaking frigid cold weather. The Arctic blast, that's what happened when we got disconnected. So I was telling DIY to be careful and how are they handling it and all of that. DIY, you can come in here if you want to come in here and talk about the weather, if we can keep a strong signal. Yeah, They said 40 degrees below zero. I've never seen that in history. So I think my parents are going to freeze to death. They got all the, we had the conversation because they're in the 70s and they're out in the country. They got generators, they got all this and that. But I'm worried about everybody's pipes. I'm worried about everybody's car fuel lines. I'm worried about everybody's batteries bursting, and all that. It's better. Podcast mode is camera off. Oh, like remove myself? That's no fun. And then you can't see my dangly earrings. That gets me more views. Just say some great videos and they just I've been through some tough times, but a little bit good now. Okay, well, Camille, our prayers are with you, brother. God, whatever went through is starting to say with to keep audio going. Okay, I see. So I want a good solution. I was gonna go get one of those T-Mobile routers, but that's what my phone does. And then I don't know if you guys know this or not. When people like Gold Phoenix and stuff, and I was talking about getting the router that goes inside your truck, and you got, you can game like crazy and all this stuff. I went to T-Mobile to get one of those, and they don't do it no more. Ha! How you think, we get something that works and it's great, and it's like, oh man, and then they discontinue it. Apparently they don't, because it was designed for a home router, but it was actually working being mobile in the truck. Well, T-Mobile caught and they fit that awesome way. So I hope you all are well, and I hope you're having a great cup of coffee, because that's what this is about, coffee and chat. Tolga says, I'm also well, just same old screen slaving mode, but I'm well, don't worry. Tolga, I hope you take time to get some sunshine. It felt really good to have the sun on my face again, and there's no clouds in the sky. And I was like, you know what? That is one thing that's so awesome about trucking. If you ain't ready for that damn weather, hopefully, because it's not always guaranteed, you can make some money and get away from it and go somewhere else. And I was thinking about how grateful I am for the opportunity to have this kind of work where I can do that and I can make those decisions. Yes, it's expensive, but life comes down to this. You want freedom or you want money? And trucking is like, I think you can kind of get good pieces of both of those situations. I can't say it's best of both worlds because it's not, but you get money and you get some freedom. It comes with a lot of responsibilities and costs, and costs you a lot of money. But it's sure as hell way better than giving half my life to the IRS and working in a cubicle. Just saying. It's my opinion. Kamal says, yeah, ma'am, I've been away for some time, but everything is okay now. How about you, birthday girl? I know you and Brian's birthday is near. Yeah, my birthday is actually coming up. I keep forgetting. But yeah, I am about to turn really 53. I said that last year, but I was only turning 52 last year. Tells you how hard I work sometimes. My brain goes away about real life. My birthday is on December 21st. I'll be 53. I have no plans for my birthday. I'm probably going to be hanging out with you guys, throwing myself a party like, I always love to do. Tolga says, I'm allergic to sunlight though, but I'll do it for you. You are a gorgeous man. You're probably pretty pasty from being all up in the screens all the time. Not to mention your vitamin D is low. Okay? But I know you go out there and you tan that beautiful skin of yours a little bit, let that melanin get back in there, let your vitamin D get up, you're gonna be glowing. Like, it's great for you. It balances all your hormones, be in a better mood. So just get 30 minutes for me, okay? And go touch the earth. Go out there barefoot, place safe and clean with no pesticide on the ground, and just plug back in. Will Burner says, like freedom and money, unfortunately, the other. Yeah, you got it's called work-life balance, right? Truck in ice, very expensive. Why can't I show it? Okay. I don't want to crash. So now that I have equipment, I have several pieces of equipment. My mind has changed a lot. Actually, since I even got the pretty penny, like my mind has changed a whole lot. About risk management, things like that. Very much more on the forefront of my mind as a business owner now. So yeah, if I had my, if I had it my way, it would be like I could take the whole winter piece off like I did last year. Last year wasn't really like under those circumstances, but if I could take that time off and then come back out when I feel like it's safe. And I know a lot of truckers have gotten themselves into positions to do that. So that's awesome. Maybe it's a goal for the future, but not right now. Bills are too high on the business. I got to be out there driving as much as I can. Dropped at Truckers in a House. Hi, Umberto. Thanks for coming in. Please hit the like on the way in or out. It's time to go to work. 530 miles to go. Feels nice weather here. Where are you at? Where are you at? Will Burner says December 17th. So his birthday is in 3 days. Mine's in a week. He will be 56, youngster. You, speaking of youngness, you, sir, you are glowing. Like whatever you're doing, your happiness, your joy, all that stuff is just coming out of you like a beam of sunshine. I'm so happy for you and what's going on. And you can talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. The kids are desperately waiting for a big update from your channel. Just saying. I think it's great. It sure looks good on you. And I'm so happy for you and I'm proud of you and it's awesome. And yeah, you're just young. You're looking younger. I can tell you're feeling younger. It's amazing. Tolga says if I had no show it. Any responsibilities, if I was completely free, I would definitely move to a little village or town already. It's going to happen in the future for sure. Yeah, we're all working to get to that place. Like, I'm going to keep going as long as I can. I can't imagine sitting still. I'd be one of those people that would die because I don't have enough to do. I'm using every day. Fantastic. Yeah, it's good. You still need sunshine. 13, 18. The 15. Health. Looks like transmission sterling. Yeah. So I have Cummins at 15. I know 50 liter in my friend you are says. I don't know. I know that my is it 12 I wrong? I get that from my first one. But I have 12 speed on the transmission. Drop that truckers only to the So, well, whatever less whatever is over and brighter days are. I it's I'm doing. Are we back? David Edwards is in my morning all. Morning, David. My internet. Help me. I don't know if, I just turned my phone on do not disturb. That's causing issue that I was getting notifications. Ugh. I'm saying ugh. I don't know what that does to the other streams. Are we back? This is my last. Please check your internet connection. Yeah, I did. I think we got still. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm at the mercy of the 5G bars, I guess. There's got to be a solution in this world for this. It's okay? Okay. Thank you, Tolga. All right, guys. We're at 44 minutes. I'm almost done with my coffee. I won't keep you too much longer. I was just trying to have Trucker Cafe. So, what's going to be bad up there? Jerome, I think you're going home. Are you going to go home? Nobody around up north. I think it's going to be okay. 20, 40 degrees below zero. That's below zero. I told my parents the cars are going to freeze. This is not going well. Okay. Nice. Let me blow you because I'm going to have to have this. I don't know. I don't think Will Burner or anybody can come in improving. Who's gamers out there? What's your freaking solution? If I know if I was a gamer and I had this kind of issue, I would have a stroke. I put it on Do Not Disturb. I got 3 bars 5G, it says. I will fix this. Do you understand? I don't give up. And this is really ticking me off. I want to do this seamlessly. In StreamYard, it already takes 30 minutes to set up the goddamn thing every time. I need to know who's got a solution. Anyways, I heard there's a heat wave coming up. I heard there's like 15,000 drivers that better get removed that got licenses out of New York. I know, I'm sure y'all heard that update. I like 50. See, I'm waiting for numbers. I want to hear the numbers. Tell me 15,000 drivers are coming off these roads. That gives me goosies. Okay. I want the numbers. That's the best number I've heard so far. I was hearing a couple thousand here, a couple thousand here. I'm like, okay, come on, guys. Come on, let's get this momentum going. And then I heard 15,000 out of just New York. I think 2026 is going to be great, guys. You know, you feel me? You feel what I'm saying here? I don't want to say it. I'm a gamer, but not serious. Could be geomagnetic storm, David Edwards says. Who knows, man? I solve it, though. There's going to be a way. People that do those nomadic careers, they probably just go to a good way. I mean, they sell them online. I've seen them, but they're made in China. I'm not buying a router that's instant that's made in China. And it's only 4G anyway, so I think it's a waste of money. There's got to be something better. Ohio has been pretty serious lately about scale houses. Yeah, no, I'm loving it. I'm like, bring it on. And I just got my DOT, and I just got, I'm good. I just got the shop. I'm fresh. I'm good. Keep your trucks. Keep your maintenance done. I'm super happy about getting my DPF system serviced. I feel like that's cool. The truck was acting up. It was doing a lot of stuff. It was running too much. It was starting itself too much. I envisioned like, oh my gosh, my starter's going to get worn out too early. For some reason, the truck is struggling starting itself, all this, that, and the other. So I had all them AGM batteries, right? I got the other batteries. I got regular batteries. Good batteries, but regular batteries to save myself the money. And still walked out paying $3,700. And they even cut me a little deal on the labor hours. That shop is fantastic, but they're expensive on the labor. They're $225 an hour. David, what? Good news, everybody. David is getting hitched in 2026. Congratulations, David. That's awesome. I didn't know you were engaged. Not that it's any of my business. I got a level 2 on Friday. At a Chinese house. Oh, you did? Well, passed it, right? Yeah. Congratulations to David Edwards. His family is expanding. Is she going to ride in the truck with you? Does she know? I'm sure she knows. I'm being a jerk, so sorry. Does she know you're going to be driving all the time? Oh, we have a special guest. That's great news, David. Early congrats. Yeah. Love is in the air for 2026 for some of you. And that's fabulous news. I'm going to bring Sterling in now. Here we go.
Speaking of special, I am special.
I apologize in advance for whatever may happen. Okay, let's just get that out of the way.
The internet's bad on my side too, Shannon. So it's forgivable.
Okay, well, I appreciate everybody's patience through my entire live streams every time. Something always happens.
Well, welcome to the apology tour with Shannon.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm sorry, forgive me. I'll try and repent one more time. That's it.
Well, I wanted to chime in and welcome you home. You're not too far from where I live.
Yeah, I'm close. And I let thinking he'd be, oh, cool, sis, let's have breakfast. Let's get together. But he's like, oh, you're close. I was like, okay, he's busy.
Yeah, he's got a love and no reason to be home right now. He's a happy boy.
Where is he home or is he not home?
No, I don't think he's home. He's probably about an hour and a half north of you.
Okay, because I was like, surely Buck's gonna go, I'll see you in 10 minutes, right? But that wasn't the case. I'm like, okay, if it's a matter, Buck, if you're listening, if it's a matter of the new wife potential, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I need to meet her too. Like, bring her. But
she's good
people. I figured he's got some other stuff going on and probably some race stuff or mom stuff or whatever. And it's fine. I just don't get. Yeah. I've never met Buck in person yet.
Really?
Yeah, I never have. And it's weird because I didn't even realize that until Mom said, yeah, you've never met Buck. Or maybe Buck said it first. I don't know. He's like, yeah, we never met. I don't even realize that because it just feels like we've known each other forever.
Yeah, he's exactly like me, but smaller and much better.
Buck's a good dude. But we have a relationship of friendship, and it's just weird. I never really think about that part, And then Mom's like, "Oh yeah, you've never met Buck in person yet?" Or she told me he was going to be there on one weekend when we were coming over there.
Yeah.
Or planning to come over there, and she's like, "Yeah, you get to meet Buck," and I was like, "Oh my God, I just."
Well, I will ask you to keep us in your address book because Mom's going to start living down there near Valdosta more full time. She's got her doctors there in Valdosta now, so.
Oh, good.
We'll all be able to have a shindig pretty soon, and I'm looking at buying a house here in a couple weeks, and I won't be too far from Valdosta if I do buy it. But I'm looking at moving to Florida.
About the real estate in Georgia. How is the real estate looking?
It's not too bad. It's still inflated. But I'm very interested in the very rural areas of Florida where real estate and jobs don't really exist. And
yeah, that's what I mean, because I'm
not too scared of older. Yeah, I'm not too scared of what's cost prohibitive to me in Valdosta is construction, because even the mobile homes, the double wides and stuff, the modular homes, are $100,000 overpriced right now. You can get property for pretty good, but why get I'm looking at 3 acres for $50,000 right now, right down the street from where Buck is. And to put a modular on it, they want a minimum of 150 for anything that's livable. And it's like, well, crap. Now I've got an overpriced modular with, now they're offering 50-year mortgages and stuff. Like, screw that.
God, they just want to rape everybody all the time.
Well, America has gone from a scheme, or from from a scheme to a scam. And I'm just
No,
I'm
seriously.
hedging all my bets because I survived 2008, and I'm hedging all my bets on a pending adjustment. I'm not going to say whether or not it's a depression or a recession or anything like that. Nobody can predict that. I don't care how many episodes of Patrick Bet David you watch. Nobody's going to predict what's going to happen. But all we can do as consumers and everything else is just be prepared. And that's where I'm aligning
Yeah,
myself right now.
I kind of feel like all that I'm doing is leading towards land ownership
Right.
for all that it's worth, because you're never really going to own anything here. But to buy the idea that my kids have land to run away to when,
Oh
they
yeah.
start coming with the chips and jabs, putting all that, right? So I'm
Yeah,
just like,
and
I'm after my
digital
farm.
ID.
Yeah, I already screwed up and got that. But, you know, the the haven, right?
Mhm.
Securing a haven where everybody can run away. And I want the land, and I've been looking for land for years, but the prices are insane. Um,
It's because it's supply and demand. Everyone else is thinking the same thing that you
yeah,
are. Like, oh, we need, rest a place to escape the big cities because we saw what happened to the big cities when everyone started coughing on each other,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, that's a whole nother show, isn't it? We could talk about that
Oh,
for
me and
hours.
you could talk for if you're lucky. I'm only on a 30-minute break right now, or I'd sit here and talk to you for 15 hours straight.
God, dude, for
And I
real. It's so
and by the
incredible.
way, I miss you terribly. I hope you're doing well. I've been poking around your channel a little bit, and it's good to hear that
I
both trucks are running. I hear Dee Dee in the background, and I'm like, oh, there she is.
Yeah, I wore her out, so she's over here napping right now. But
Good
I've
job.
been I've been hanging out a lot with her, and she had a
If you're
ball
at
at the
if
beach
you're at
today.
the pilot that I think you're at, I don't think they have laundry services there. And the Waffle House across the street is delivery only now. They will not serve you.
Why?
It's a weird thing. I noticed, the economy's turning, of course, but a lot of these Waffle Houses are switching to delivery only. So you can't like knock on the door and order food anymore. Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot here in the South, which sucks because I just moved to the South and I want to go to every single Waffle House that was ever built.
Well, I'm not that I was going there anyways. I'm just curious why they would do something like
Ah.
that. Because the whole thing about the Waffle House is that it's like the little diner you can go in and hang out. At least that's in my mind. You
Yeah.
know. David has a beautiful point. Agreed. Stop foreign countries, buy American land. That's kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing too. Like I just want to buy it, and even though I can't afford to build on it, but keep it away from somebody else. That's in my mindset.
True. Very true. Yeah.
Because so I can find land. Let's say your land, right? You found a halfway decent price for 3 acres. That's enough for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like you have to think about the other side. Now it's like, okay, how can I live there? Now that I've secured the land at a reasonable price, how
Uh-huh.
am I going to live there? So, you know me, I got my RV. I'm out. So the first
Yep.
thing when I'm talking to these land people, I'm like, okay, can I put an RV on it? A lot of them
Yes.
say, yes, you can, but it can't be your permanent home.
Right. And here's the way to skirt around that. Build an awning above your RV and claim it as storage.
Okay.
You're
Well,
allowed
yeah,
to
because that
store
way the drones can
RVs.
see that you're living there every day too, right?
Well, I mean, it's a way to skirt those laws. I mean, I've been doing a lot of homework on it because I'm living in a semi truck 24/7 right now. So the tiny home life I don't think would bother me. Like as long as I got a kitchen and a shower and a bathroom, I'll be okay.
Look, they got all these little she sheds around everywhere, right?
Yes,
And they're getting
yes.
pretty elaborate. Okay. They're getting bigger.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what? Okay, look. You can live in these things. Well, at least we could, because we are accustomed to living in a small space. So these tiny homes and all this stuff is great. They're trying to charge $200,000 for some of these tiny homes. I'm like,
Exactly,
good
because
day.
because because they're kitschy, and you remember when I still lived in Fallon, I worked for that shed company, so I've seen
Yeah.
those things. I've had my hands on them. I know exactly how they're built. And
Look,
yeah, you might be able to get something for less than 10 grand, but you're putting 20 grand of insulation and electronics, and by the time you're done, you got a $50,000 shed.
yeah, but they're trying to sell them for hundreds,
Uh-huh.
over 100,000. And like, look, this is where I'm at. I will go get the wood. I will go get some plywood. I will go get the woods for the beams,
Yeah.
and I'll build a box. Like, and then develop it as I live in it, how I want it, because you can just add stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, I even looked at the bug out containers. Like we sold them there in Fallon, where it was
Yeah.
basically it looked like a container, but you open the doors and boom, you got a house inside there, and you can close the doors and secure it when you're not home, and it just looks like a container. And I thought about that as well, but look at the prices of that, and it's expensive. I think ultimately the answer is going to be you have to buck the trend. Whatever everyone else is doing, we got to find out a way to do something on our own that isn't popular and isn't marketed and drowning in debt and just kitschy, popular. We got to find something that's not popular and keep quiet about it.
Look, in one weekend, we can put up one of those little frames and a little roof and some little walls and nail them to the frame, and boom, there you go. Then you throw
Uh,
your insulation in there and you put your
yeah.
floors in. Like, how hard is it? Like, it
Well, I
can't
mean,
cost anywhere near
look at
what they're asking.
well, look at the Amish. We've got a prime example here in America. I mean, they might have some crazy religious views and stuff, but
Well, they're building those things,
yeah,
you know?
and they've been sustainable for what, 200 years now?
Yeah. I really think they have figured out life. But I know
Yeah.
that they're building those sheds, and then the people who are getting them from them are marking them up, or maybe the Amish people are like, no, we're selling these for a big dollar, whatever. I'm
They make
saying
a
when I'm
ton
looking
of
at it,
money on it.
yeah. So that again reinforces the fact, like, we can go to Home Depot and get all the little things to build a box. Like, who cares? And then you can add on your little porch, and you can keep whatever, as you go. But you can build your stuff. Now, not everybody is in the mindset of me, like, I just build whatever. I'm going to survive. I'll get a roof over my head and whatever. And not I cannot pay these prices. I won't. Out of principle I can't. Like, I'll build
The
that
a-
damn
the
thing. I don't
average
care.
the average the average car payment in America is $1,000 a month right now. The average mortgage is $2,500 a month.
How are we even gonna, like, and God forbid you want to buy a farm. Like, I've been looking at farms, dude, they're in the millions.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it's got healthy dirt.
Yeah. Like, it's so I am just like, oh my God. Now, for what I want my land for my family to then be able to move on it, I have to come up with, like, okay, this is the plan that's affordable, because it's not just gonna, I can live in an RV. I got my RV. I'm straight. I could live forever in that. I got to make some adjustments for cold weather and whatnot, but I can do it. My kids are not in that mindset and never will be, and they have a bunch of kids right now. So it's like,
Yeah.
me deciding for everybody else that, okay, we'll just put one tiny house here and one tiny house there and one tiny house there, and everybody's straight. They can't, because their families are large. So that's the pickle
Yeah.
I'm in.
It's a beautiful dream, but it sounds like
Yeah.
what you need to do, Shannon, is go to like the middle of Indiana and find like an abandoned grocery store, and then just divide that out into places where everybody in your family. I'm suggesting that you warehouse your family. You
I
know?
want to do that, because I'm
Yeah.
like, we have a roof, we're good,
Yeah.
right? There,
Roof,
but
plumbing, you
absolutely
got air
not will
conditioning and
they.
heat.
Yeah, I'm straight with all that, but they will not live with each other. It will be murder. Like, everybody will be dead,
Yeah.
like, within
Yeah.
3 months. So
unfortunately.
so I'm just like, okay, here's my deal. I'm gonna find my land. I'm gonna put my RV on it and let them figure out the rest of it. Because if they want to go there, they can. If they don't want to go there, they have the choice. But
Yes.
I feel like I can't die until I achieve that part and get my RV on, because that's where I want to sit at and watch the grass grow and
Yeah.
plant some things and get a
And
little cow and whatever.
as parents, all we can do is kind of guide and, and hope and have a little bit of faith. But we need to make sure
Yeah.
we're taking care of ourselves.
Will Werner says some of the best advice I ever got was buy land, pay high for it if you have to, but buy it and never ever sell it. Yeah, and if we would have been raised right in the first place and the world didn't trick our parents, we would all have the land that our great forefathers have had, because that's why when you go to see these Amish farms, like, they're well off, but they've done nothing but expand in their generations. And we should have never let go of that from Little House on the Prairie days, and we should
Yeah.
have kept the legacies going. Somewhere Western civilization came in and decided to teach us not to do that. The same time they probably taught us to stop burying our family members on our land. And
And
I learned that
they
recently.
convinced us that we could be our own God. Like, you don't have to have community. You can just,
Well, if
watch your
you don't like
telephone all day,
something, you
watch
can
TV
change.
all day.
Yeah, you don't have
Ev-
to live with that family member that you can't stand, and you should be grown and never live with your parents after a certain age and get your own thing and whatever. I mean, there's something to that, but I still think that, like, if we would have kept on that thing, like, we just keep the same land and pass it down. I think that's the way God intended it to be, and then the Western culture came in and messed everything up. The Amish got
I
it going on. They're always going to have it going on because they're not
I
plugged into the mess.
I went down this rabbit hole last week, looking around Italy and stuff, and how they do their farms and their businesses. That the most there still is poverty and corruption and stuff, just like anywhere else in the world. But the most successful parts of Italy are run by co-ops, and the employees are actually owners of the company. They vote on who gets to be the CEO. Nobody makes 10,000 times percent more than any other person in the company. It's all well and balanced, and they all come together to make sure that the company does well, which in turn the company takes care of the employees, and the employees have houses and families and can have a good life. And like, that's
Community.
completely wiped out of our society. The last
Yeah.
time that I seen something like that was, my father. He was a, teamster for the UPS. He made enough money that mom could stay home and raise 6 of us kids.
Yeah.
You can't do that nowadays. Nowadays we look at kids and it's like, oh, they're too expensive. And like, oh, great. Now everything has a price.
Yeah. I in my utopia, I've designed to go back to, okay, we're going to get a farm, and then
Hmm.
all of my 5 grandsons are going to learn how to process animals for food, live off the land,
Hmm.
because that's where we're going to be one day, I believe. And we're going to teach them, we're going to homeschool them, and they're all going to learn how they should have learned, without institution, learn by playing and building and all of those things. Yeah, I want to be Amish. I think that's what it comes down to. I want to turn my whole family into an Amish family and have that going on.
I I think about that quite often, and it's often in my prayers that I hope that we can return to a civilization like that without bloodshed and trauma. And I just hope it doesn't. I hope that we can voluntarily live like that in the future, Shannon, but not because of strife and war and all the crap that's, the unraveling of society. Because listen, you if you talk about what your dream is right now to 90% of the people that we're driving by every day, you say, hey, I want my own land, I want my kids to hunt and fish, and I want sustainability. People would be like, gross, are you a hippie? Like, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just Why are you
That's
trying to
okay
buck the
because I'll
system?
sign up. They can call me when I'm done with labels too. I will sign up to what
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care what they call me. Because one day when the money does the thing, I'm trying to survive that. And it comes from the
Here's the
land. You
secret.
don't have
Here's
some
the
kind of
secret.
land to grow something on, you're screwed.
Here's the secret that I learned about life just this year, and it's been the biggest blessing. Nothing happens without craziness. You have to be crazy about what you believe in, who you are, what you love. You have to run at it crazy because nothing has changed in history for thousands of years. People thought the Bible was crazy. People thought Jesus was crazy. People thought Allah was crazy. It, it only moves because of craziness. So the more people think you're crazy, I think let that be the fire that lights your way.
John the Baptist was a nut bar. Like
Oh,
he would eat
totally. Yeah.
drugs. Okay, I
Yeah.
rest my case. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Like I'm watching what the train of the system that's coming, and I'm doing my best to foresee that and try to get to a place where I can be in a position to survive if it should go to the worst case scenario, which I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah.
probably going to.
Because
I'm not trying to be a negative
you're
Nelly, but I'm like,
no.
we know what's going to
You're
happen.
what you want is resiliency. You're not looking to be Donald Trump. You're not looking to be Elon Musk. You're not looking to be,
No,
a pauper
man, I
living
just
on
want to
the
make sure
street.
we're eating. We're
Yeah,
eating, and no one can take that away from us. That's it,
exactly.
you know?
Well,
So I just
you've
gotta
wasted my
take
30-minute break, Shannon. I'm very mad at you, and I need to go take a shower too. So
yeah, I'm headed that way myself, and my coffee's almost gone anyway. Um, okay, well, thank you for coming
love.
in and chatting about the end of
Yep.
the world.
Yeah,
And
it's always good times. You can only wonder what us truck drivers think all day, every week, every year.
the world could not keep up.
Uh-uh.
Seriously. That's why we
But
do YouTube, though, right?
yeah, we're trying to
All
connect,
right.
right?
Well, have a great weekend. Be safe out
Love
there.
you,
Stay out of the
sis. I
cold.
will catch you later.
Don't run up north.
I won't ever. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Bye bye. Oh, that was fun. Thank you, Sterling. Um, just terrible times is in the house saying, just move to Missouri outside of the two big cities. I've been looking for land in Missouri too. Some of it's really reasonably priced. Tolga says, I wouldn't be or others. I really love my freedom and can walk on the streets without guards. Yeah. Yeah, Chief Rayaler agrees with you. Chief Rayaler says, both of my kids, can't show it for some reason. Show it. He says, both my kids live on a single income too. No, that's great. What I've learned is it really comes from spending your money in a smart way. There are strategies to do so with, the things you have to buy and the mortgages and whatever. And not getting things you can't afford. Not and the world will do that to you, right? You gotta have this, you gotta have this. You're not significant unless you have this, this, and that. My whole life has changed, and I know it's not going to happen to my kids, but they're off to a really great start. I was never taught anything about money mindset, business mindset, anything like that. My parents were just worker bees, and they worked for a pension, and they were going to retire one day. Not entrepreneurial whatsoever. Well, my dad was, I guess, but they went to the slavery, they did the slavery, they got the benefits the slavery gave them afterwards, and now they're old and whatever. I've been through so many hardships because of my poor decisions that I am an absolute MacGyver. Yeah, MacGyver. That's why it was my favorite show. But, and then forward, being able to be in a truck and educate myself beyond all recognition, way more than my college ever did, which I'm still paying for, by the way. Very grateful for the things I've learned that I wish my parents would have taught me, and I've made for sure to start teaching my kids. Because if I would have known even a piece of the information that I know now and mindset that I'm in now in my 20s, it would have changed the course of my entire life and my prosperity. So, damn sure I'm teaching my kids right now. And it's changing everything for them. Like, they're taking on some financial strategies that I've learned about. I've been able to sit down and teach them about, you know, how to pay off their mortgage easier, sooner, how to beat the bank, these kinds of things. And they're almost certainly entrepreneurial, which is fantastic. And the fact that they can know those things now in their 20s is, even if I can't deliver the utopia that I want to build for them, they have the mind to do it themselves. And they definitely have the energy. So I'm very proud of my kids, and I'm proud that I've been able to pass on something that valuable, because the world they're coming up in and my grandkids are coming up in is scary. Cheap Frey Holler says, Shannon, I wasn't taught money either. Oop, I just lost it. Wheelburner, are you coming in? I wasn't taught money either. I learned from listening to Dave Ramsey's show while working nights. Yeah. So on behalf of the internet, I am grateful that we've had people like us, you know, MTV kids, have been able to figure out some of this internet stuff and use it to our advantage and for our prosperity, right? Wheelburner says, when I was 20 years old, I couldn't believe how stupid I lost it. How stupid my parents were when I was 35. I couldn't believe how much they had smartened up. Yeah, God, it just makes me proud of myself that, and you know, my parents didn't know. I can't blame them. But I feel like I should have had to my kids. And that's you got to learn and do better, right? Ownership of multi-properties opens loan opportunities and tax-free status. Yeah, I'm about there. I do have 2 properties right now, and I have 4 pieces of equipment. So I'm doing everything I can to utilize all of those assets to be assets and not liabilities. And I'm coming up into another level, and which is great for me, but I don't have a lot of time left in trucking. So I have to, you know, I'm trying to be really efficient with my time. Hi. Hi, sure. Is that a tan I see? Do you have a nice tan going on?
Maybe.
What's been going on?
Hold on,
Hi, Curtis.
I got an echo here. Hold on, I think it's on my end. Let me just fix this.
Okay. I cannot wait for Wheelburner to tell you guys what he's been up to. Curtis is in the house. Zorreal. He is a very, 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 very good friend of mine from many years. This first time he's popped in, I think. So I want to
hold on
welcome.
one sec, Shannon.
Okay. We get set up, and I'm excited. And so for those of you on Facebook over there, Wheelburner is like one of my original cowboy trucker mentors. I gotta say cowboy. And one of the best people I've ever met. So he is gracing us with his presence today to tell us some fun stuff about what he's been up to. So this is a treat. And I hope my internet connection keeps up with this. Because it's been crazy this morning. I finished my coffee. Should I pour another? Pretty jacked up right now. Chief Railer says the best way to beat the bank is to not have a slavery relationship with them. Yeah, you know, but that's the thing. I did love Dave Ramsey, but I've even learned something better than what he teaches. And so I'm on the next level up from Dave Ramsey, in my opinion. It's working for me. It's much faster and it's much easier, at least the way I see it, and connection's been great. Well, see, I guess all I had to do was let Sterling pop on here, and now the internet straightened out for me.
I think I got it. You there?
Narrowing. Yep. Oh, I was talking to you. I thought you could hear me.
I can hear you.
Narrowing and taking tax breaks will give you generational wealth. Yeah, I'm on that trail, Turbo. Don't worry. I hear you. I feel you. I know what you're saying. I'm all about that, and I'm working on it. I'm putting my stuff together. Okay, back to you, sir. Good morning. God bless you. I'm excited for what you're going to give us today.
I ain't giving you shit. I ain't giving you nothing.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I'll give it to you. Shannon, I'll give it to you. No, I'll give it to you behind the scenes.
Okay, can you give the kids have been missing you though? Okay, Brian, come on. This is for the kids.
I just got back a couple of days ago. We went down to the Caribbean, so we've been down in the Dominican for that. Hence, well, the tan is not all tan. It's I just walked the dog, and it's like minus a million out there right now. So some of this is rosy cheeks from the cold, but some of it is tan. Like I got a nice tan going. But we've been down to the Dominican for a while, and then we had to spend a week in Toronto visiting you know, parents and my parent or my mom and two of my kids and everything like that. So, and we've been making announcements. We've been making announcements to the family, and we've been making announcements to you know, close friends there. Now, I haven't hooked up with you in a while. I haven't been live in probably about 5 or 6 weeks. I've basically like I've stayed off of YouTube. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the first chat, or this is the first time in 5 or 6 weeks that I've put my face on YouTube. I've been following, like when people go live, I'm watching, and I'll pop in and I'll say hi, but then I just sit in the background, and I haven't really been YouTubing. I haven't been living. I haven't been doing. I've just been enjoying what's been going on. And again, there's more, Shannon. There's more I have to tell you. Like what you already know is now about. It's only about 3/4 of what it is now. Another quarter has been added to that, and I think there's Tyke Trucking has an idea, and I think Pat. I won't say his last name, but Pat knows. Road Dog knows. Our guard dog knows, and but these are people that I talk to in the background, right? These are people that I don't talk to on YouTube. These are people that I phone and I talk to. So you and I are going to catch up, but just know that there is things going on now that are even better. Are
we having
and for me, and for Victoria, and for my family, and for some of my friends around. Hey,
are we having a baby?
No, God, no. Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Well, hold on. I'm not having a baby, but I did find out 3 weeks ago that one of my daughters is now expecting.
Yay!
So I will be a grandfather for the second time. But funny enough, it's the same daughter that has the first. six daughters, one grandchild. 6 daughters. Like I couldn't get a broken condom. I couldn't get an oops. I couldn't get anything. Like, come on, kids. Like, pump them out here.
Are they planning on it? Are they just, or they're just not settled down for it yet? Like, what's the general?
No, you know what? They're doing it the right way, I think, Shannon. I think if I look at the way my children are conducting themselves and living their lives, and I hope that it sounds like your kids are kind of on the same boat, that my kids are putting their education and then getting themselves settled, like after post-education, getting into their careers, getting all of that and getting a firm foundation set up. And then they're looking at starting families. They're not,
No, they're definitely doing it right. I tried to get my girls to do that, but they wanted to get married first and have babies first. And I was like,
no. Well, that's how we did it. Like, I had my first daughter. I was 21, for Christ's sake. Right.
Yeah.
I was more immature than they were, and they were born, for Christ's sake. So, so I'm going to be a grandfather for a second time. Same daughter, but that's good. She's doing, or the baby's due in July.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I may not be here when the baby's born. I'm going to be across the pond, maybe.
Oh my God. you know what this is doing to me, right?
Yeah, I know, it's killing you, isn't it?
It's killing me. Like, okay. So for the kids, Wheelburner's been on this vacay. Don't you want to tell us anything else? Don't you want to tell the kids anything? I kind of know a lot of stuff, so I don't want to. I'm not saying it. What else can you give the kids?
Well, nothing really. It's you know what?
Did you stay at a resort? Did you?
Yeah,
how long were you there?
Of course, we stayed at a resort. What do you think? I pitched a tent on the beach? Yes, of course I stayed. Maybe. I stayed at a actually, I didn't even pick it, right? Of course, I didn't pick nothing. I just went. I showed up. I made sure I was sober and my shoes were on the right feet, right? Like, literally. So yeah, we stayed at a resort. We were down there for I don't know how many days. We had 32 degrees Celsius. So what's that, like 80 something Fahrenheit? So we were like that all. It was all week. I'm gonna okay. I haven't been home long enough to I'm banging off all the people. So I've got pictures I'm gonna send you, and I've got a video that you absolutely have to see. And get your Kleenex ready. You get your Kleenex ready because it's a good one. So I'm gonna send you that.
I saw some pictures. I don't know if it's that video, but I saw some pictures and I was like, oh, I was like, it was great.
Okay, so, it might be on that, because I do have some of that stuff. Okay. On other social media, right?
Yeah, that's where I seen it, and I was like, oh, this is
something I've decided to do, and I decided to do it weeks ago, is just kind of back off of what I put on YouTube. Like, it's okay to go live, but
no, you got a lot of big private personal things going on, and
and it's never going to hit YouTube. It's never going to hit YouTube. Like, I will tell you, because I love you and you're my friend. I will tell you, but it's never going to hit YouTube, because I've made that mistake and put too much information personally about myself, and I've taken a lambasting for it. Yeah. I've been doxxed. I've had accounts hacked. I've had all sorts of shit just from people that don't like me. And if you don't like me, then that's fine. Right. I'm not here to make anybody like me. And if you don't, have a nice day. I don't sit you in your chair.
Yeah, it's a non-issue when it comes to real life and what you're living every day.
It is. So when I can come up with content that doesn't necessarily have to revolve so much around me, and maybe revolve around other people such as yourself that are doing good things, and just other people, when I can start coming up with more content like that, then I will start streaming again. But right now, there's just so much going on here, and there's so many things that are we're balancing right now. And it's not just me, it's Victoria as well, right? We're balancing so many things right now. And I just don't, almost like I don't want to screw it up. I really
Yeah.
don't. I don't want to screw nothing
No,
up.
it's okay. For the loved ones in the audience, and we have a lot of our regular family in here, Wilburner. Just know that he is well. I mean, look at him; he's beaming. He he just came off siesta, which was long time coming and well deserved, I'm sure,
Oh,
and fully restored. And I'm and there's lots of great news. And until he
yeah.
shares it on his channel, he's gonna tell me. But I know that um, I have just been so happy knowing that you're up to amazing and fantastic, humongous, life-changing moves and spending time and real life
Yeah.
stuff. And that's not in
Yeah.
the truck and it's not any of this, and it's
No.
just blessed my heart. So thank you for sharing what
I've
you did, and I've been back here just like cheering for you.
well, I've had to take a very hard lesson and learn a very hard lesson, and I'm a very driven person, and then when I get into business, I'm even more driven when you involve money, and
Yeah,
in the last little while, I've realized that taking a step back, the money will always be there. You can always make more money, right? I can always make more money.
yeah,
I can always, you know, but I can't make more time. I
right,
can't get time back. And
right.
I've squandered so much time, Shannon. So
Yeah,
much time. I've squandered it, foolishly gave it away, was stupid with my time and my ideas, and I'll never get any of that back. So at my age now, young lady, at my age now, it's time to maybe change directions and put forth, first and foremost, my family, my kids. My kids
yeah,
need me right now. I've got a couple of kids that are having some issues and they need their dad. So
yeah.
that comes before
Anything.
money, or it comes before YouTube, or it comes before anything else.
Yeah,
With the exception of my relationship with Victoria, of course, right?
right.
But and that's where my focus is. My focus is now on, the kids, making sure that they're okay. I can't live for them. I can't do it for them. I can only be there to pick
Right.
them up and dust them off when they fall on their ass. You know that
Yeah,
lesson
that's where
as
I'm
good
at
as
with
any of
mine.
us. Well,
Yeah.
there you go, right? And that's where the focus is. And when it's time to have fun, don't worry. I'll be here to have fun.
Yeah.
I still like to be rude, crude, and obnoxious. And no, I don't drive I'm not trucking. I'm not out on the road, and I'm not. But it's still in there. And I will tell you this:
Yeah.
like, that little itch is right there, Shannon. I've been out of it for so long, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that little itch. It's even more now because I live just on the Trans Canada Highway in
Oh,
Strathmore.
wow.
So as the trucks are coming off on the highway, as they go right through, because the highway runs right through. Well, all the old boys, they Jake coming into town, right? Because the speed limit goes from say 70 miles an hour down to 55 and then down to 30, right? And they
Yeah.
Jake all the way down, and I can hear it from my house because that's how close to the highway I am. And every
Yeah.
time I hear one of those Jakes going off, I'm like,
Yeah. It's like a rush.
it is. It really is, man.
It's like a hit from trucking. You get another hit.
It
Like,
is, and
yeah.
because the kind of the business that I deal that I'm it's shut down right now because it doesn't run in the winter, right?
Yeah.
So and there's a truck stop right here in town, and every morning I have to, every morning I take Victoria to work, and then I drive home, and I see them all lined up, and they're all idling, and I'm just like, I just want to take my car and drive in and park between two of them and just sit there and listen to it. And that itch is right there, but I am not scratching that itch.
Yeah.
I am not scratching that itch.
No, Lord willing, there will be a day for all of us when we'll be done and off the road, and
Yeah.
then the next chapter of life starts, and you're
I will tell you this. This is one little thing. There is a company, and I'm obviously not going to say the company, but there's a company not far from where I live, that required a part-time oversized haul driver. Right? They lost their regular guy. He retired, and he was getting too old to drive in the snow and the bad weather up here and everything. So through a friend, my friend said, well, what about this guy? Like, I'm that guy, right? So they called and said, like, we need you for a couple of hours, maybe a couple days a week. Would you be interested in doing that? Like, we're just pulling, the biggest thing you're going to pull is probably, 16 or 18 feet wide. And it's not very heavy, but it goes all over Alberta, right? So I've been keeping my beak wet with that, but that's not really considered working because I'm not working full time. I'm not, I'm just going out, getting in a little day cab. My God, those things suck. When you're used to having all that real estate back there and you get into, I feel like I'm driving like this, right? It's like, there's nothing there.
And the seats like bounce and stuff like
Oh
that.
no, everything's horrible in them, right?
Yeah.
I have to wear a back brace when I'm driving it. That's how bad. That's how bad they are, right?
There's those seats.
But anyway, it's not like it's a big deal. It's just, it's a few bucks on the side. They call when they need.
Still get to hear that motor run and fire that baby up though. But
yeah, but it's not the same, Shannon. It's just not the same. Setting the cruise control at 75 mile an hour and running down the I-40 is a whole lot different than what I'm doing, right?
I know.
And
it's like I think about that. Like, I'm gonna need serious therapy. Like, I know for sure my days are numbered.
Yeah.
It was never the plan to stay in this for 20 years or anything like that anyway, but I'm working on a bigger project and trying to make this work for that. Yeah. But I'm so in love with this in a way that I don't think I can put into words. And sometimes I feel guilty for that passion. And sometimes I think I'm stupid for that. And, you always go through like, oh my God, like how, and some days it's hard and you're like, how much longer am I going to put myself through this? And you have all of these feelings, but there's just, it keeps coming around. It's like, damn it, I love this.
The day is going to come for you. The day is going to come for you as it came for me, where you still have it. I don't have it anymore. You've still got that fire. You wake up in the morning and you pull your curtains and you look around you look out of your fishbowl window and that fire is still there. You start your truck, you hear that engine and it builds and builds. And then you do your pre-trip and everything like that. And it's like, you look around, it's like, oh my God, I'm here. And then tomorrow you're there. And that drives you and you love it.
Yeah.
You absolutely love it. And you thrive. I don't have that anymore. Right. That part of
congratulations. And it's just like thinking about it from inside the cab is like, oh my God, how am I ever going to transition? But you will. It'll happen.
You will.
It'll happen.
Because
I'll get myself busy with something else.
You're on the line right now. Like you're walking the line where you're an owner operator, but you're a multi-truck owner. And I've been there. I know what you're going through. Every time that goddamn phone rings, you're going, do I answer this thing or not? Right?
Doesn't matter. It's still going to be there.
It's exactly right. Or you get that phone call from the driver at 2. You get that phone call from the driver at 2:00 in the morning, and you're going, "Oh my God!" Right? But it does smooth out, and you're almost there, right? With what you're doing, and the day is going to come where you're going to get out of the truck, and somebody else is going to be driving that pretty penny, and you're going to have the red truck going, and you might have another piece of equipment operating, and it'll be more, it won't be a passive income because you'll still have to have your hand in it, but you'll be able to take that time that you want where you'll be sitting in your office at home dealing with all of that. And then by noon, guess what? You're done. Business is taken care of by noon. And that's where you're going. And I hope you get there soon. Shannon, I hope you get there soon.
Me too. But this is a big expensive truck. And and I'm still paying on the other stuff, but we're gonna get there. A lot of what I've learned, and then what I started, these strategies I'm talking about, and how I've started putting stuff into play is changing everything for me.
Yeah. Pre-planning
And I'm
is a
doing
lot.
that, and it takes time, but it's instead of this much time, it's this much time. So it's fantastic. And I have time to finish that part, you know. And then there's,
Yeah.
I think about when it's time to liquidate the equipment, those types of things. And then am I going to buy another new truck? And then if I do decide to buy one more truck, is it going to be used? Is it going to be new? Right? And then trailers, how long are my trailers going to last? Like I have a lot of planning to do, and you know what I mean? So, but I can't
Keep this.
picture, like, even when you say that, like someone else will be driving the Penny. I'm like, yeah, like,
Yeah, I
I
know.
couldn't, because I need a
Trust
therapy
me.
truck. I think
Trust
I
me.
need a therapy truck. You know, you can
Watch
keep
it.
her over here.
Me watching somebody buy my Freightliner and drive it away, right? And I was sitting
Yeah,
on the
how
hood of
was
my
that?
car. I was sitting on the hood of my car, like just sitting on the hood, and Victoria was
Yeah.
standing beside me. I actually
Oh
had a
God.
sniffle, go for Christ's sake, right? Because that was the final, that was the final nail to get rid of that part of the business. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like, it was bittersweet. It's going to a good
Yeah.
home. The guy's going to use it. It's a great truck, and the guy's making money with it. That I'm happy about. The fact is that I'm not in that driver's seat doing it. I was almost ready to
Well,
say, hey, how about you buy
you're
the truck and
watching
I'll
her
just,
drive away from you. Like,
oh,
you know,
it was
it's a
heartbreaking,
marriage.
man.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
freaking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But then the other part of
Wow.
the business is, I've got that little thing going on the side. We're shut down for the winter because agriculture doesn't run in the winter. Obviously, as soon as the first frost hits the ground,
Yeah.
you're done. So that's kind of shut down till probably beginning or middle of April, but that doesn't require me to really do a whole lot. That little thing just
Right.
runs itself over there, and I check in the morning and make sure everything's good, and then I go about my day, doing whatever
Yeah, that's
Brian
great.
wants to do.
That's
So
great. Man, I'll tell you
yeah,
what, a year ago even, we could never have imagined any of this is happening with you, you know?
no, I didn't see this coming.
Uh, no. And nobody else might not want to say it, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say, praise the Lord. I'm going to say, thank God. Prayers are answered. Blessings that were unforeseen and unimagined have happened in your life. And I'm going to say, thank God for that. I've watched it happen on the sidelines over here, and there's no doubt in my own mind and in my heart that he's taken something that was bad and turned it into good beyond your wildest dreams. And I
Um,
remember when you were going through some things, and I had mentioned that at one point because that recalls
I
my
know.
memory. Like, I know it hurts right now, but you never know what God has planned for your life. And this is probably something that needs to be moved for your blessings to come in. And I feel like that came true. And so I'm
I
like, yay.
agree. Although you and I don't follow the same path in religion, we do kind of follow the same path with spiritualness
That's okay. Just
and
love me where I'm
spirituality.
at. This is where I'm at. You know,
No,
that's
I
me.
got it. But I based on or not based on what you just said there, it's very simple, and we can break everything that you just said there into down from you went this, and I can break it down to this. He is
Yeah.
doing for me today what I could not do for myself.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
Okay,
That's
and
true.
that's
That's
exactly
true.
what has
Because that's
happened.
what he
And
does.
don't get me wrong, fuckers. I didn't find religion and fall off the edge. Sorry, I had to swear.
Just
Just for
say, look,
that was just for
acknowledgement. Okay.
whatever.
Look, I'm going to tell anybody who's going to start talking about religious stuff because to me, listen what I realized a long time ago. And the world has a big problem with this, but to me, this is 1000% factual. When you get religious, and my interpretation changed. Religious people are affiliated with some form of organized clan and stuff that's man-made, and with the church and whatever. And there's a time and a season for people to use that to their advantage and to feed off of that and to help use it for help. Okay, recovery, whatever, repenting,
Right.
whatever. There's a period that is right for you. There's nothing wrong with being in that period of your life. I was in that, getting into a religion helped me learn a lot of things about being a godly woman, a good wife, a good woman, like all that, a good mother, all of that. After I got divorced and I went through some of the hardest storms I went through with the Lord, he opened my eyes to another level, and there's religion, and I never really knew there was a difference because the way I was raised. There's religion, and then there's raw faith and relationship with God himself. That's within you, that's over here. That's not the same. And the haters that come on here and talk about religiousness, because when I'm talking about God, let me point this to you. There is religiousness, which is man-made, which is corrupted, and all kinds of things out there in this world. And then there is reality, which is you meet your maker, you meet him within you, you deal with him every day, you build a relationship, and it is one of the best love you could ever find in this world. That's my soapbox, but it's not like, please don't ever refer to me as a religious person, because you can take religion and shove it up your ass. How about that? Because
Thank you.
if it's good for you at the time, great. If it's helping you, if it's helping you learn how to connect with God and learn how to reach God and learn how to pray to God and learn how to worship to God, great. Use it. But that is not God. It is not faith. It is
No.
a method of getting there, but ultimately it's going to be you and him. And
Yes.
I just tell people, like, don't wait till the last day when you're calling prayer 911, and that's the first time you talk to him, because life is so good and he's so right there the whole time.
I was very, and maybe to a little degree, I'm still a little ignorant when it comes to when people use the word religion, but it was broken down to me by a very smart man, a very wise man, years and years ago. And this is how I had to wrap my head around it. Okay. And then because I was not willing to open myself to any of that. I had to walk a harder line than some people. Some people grasp it right away and they hang on for dear life, and
men typically it's more difficult for, because we're a submissive, creation.
Well,
so it's
I'm
easier
not.
for women before it is men, because they're a lot more, leader of their own domain and all that. And it's okay.
Well,
God made you.
The way it was simply broken down to me was, he said, Brian, religion is for people that are scared to go to hell. Spirituality is for those that have already been there.
So good.
I walked years and years in hell.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I could find the religion was always there, but the spirituality wasn't. Right. And then you've got
two different things.
They are. And then you've got the faith, Shannon. And then not only do you, once you've got the faith, that's fine. I can have faith in something, but then you have to have belief. Think about this, right? You've found your spirituality. Now you have to have faith in it. It's going to do for you today what you cannot do for yourself.
Right.
But I can have faith in something, but have no belief in it whatsoever. Right.
No, and that comes with the walk, though, right? It comes in your life.
And it does. And that's where I was going. That's where I was going. If you follow the path, right, you find the spirituality, then you have to start to have some faith in that. And the faith could be zero in the beginning, but as time goes on, you walk that walk, your faith starts to grow.
No one can ever give that to you. No one can ever say anything.
It can't be taught.
No,
it can't be taught. A preacher standing at a podium can't teach that, right?
He can describe it to you, but you don't.
Well, good luck with that too.
Yeah, but you don't get it in your guts until you walk the walk in life, comes through trials.
Once I found the faith, once I started to have faith that there was a higher power, that there was a God or whatever, I then had to start to believe that faith was going to work for me. and believing in that God and believing that those things are, and then again, you just follow the walk. That's a walk in life. And as my life went by, and I'm talking, this is going back 30 years ago, right? When I first started,
You've come
and
so,
it's no
so
different
far.
today, Shannon. It's no different today, Shannon, than it was 30 years ago. I still have to do the same things. I still have to have a connection. It doesn't mean that I drop to my knees every day and go, oh, hail, hail God, but that doesn't happen. But there still has to be a connection with a higher power of my understanding. There has to be a faith in that understanding. And I have to believe that faith for me is, if that faith is going to do for me today what I cannot do for myself. And that means I have to let go of the reins. And when I let go of the reins and I let somebody else run the ship or drive the truck or however else, all those stupid cliches, when you finally let go enough and let somebody else or something else do it for you, well, man, you know what? Certain things happen. Yes, you're going to feel some pain, but you need to feel some pain in order to learn to, to move down I felt more pain in my sobriety than I probably ever did while I was out practicing.
Yeah.
But that pain enabled me to move forward. While I was out practicing, I wasn't moving anywhere. I was standing in one place, swatting at the air, fighting for my life, trying to keep my head above water. This way here, I'm moving forward. Yes, I'm going to take some shots and I'm going to take, but that's put before me to learn. I need to learn.
Yeah.
How do I learn? Experience. You have to experience it. You need to feel, live, and then move on. And then again, take the next person behind you that's struggling to get up that hill, turn around, reach down and help them up, and that is how it works. Now, this is the first time I've ever openly spoken about anything about this on live, right? I've spoken to you about it behind, but I've never spoken live about this, but this is how I live my life today. And I haven't always been successful. Right. And knowing that
we don't sit with any wisdom in life until we screw up. Okay.
Oh man.
So
and I have done some
for audience,
doozy.
for you out there, like you're looking at two people that have been through a lot of bad decisions. And by the grace, we are still here to talk about it. So but I say that with a heart of gratitude because I could have been dead 1,000 times. And I sure, brother, know that you could have been dead 1,010 times.
Well, it's one of those things where I like to say that, he brought me to my knees. He didn't put me on my back. Thank God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm still around and kicking.
And he brought you out.
And am I healthy? Yeah, I'm as healthy as I can be. This is probably the healthiest physically. Like I've trimmed out again. The weight's come off. I'm doing other things physically, mentally. And this is not by me going, okay, this is what I'm going to do. No, this is just by me accepting what's put in front of me. And okay, I have the chance to do this. Let's go do that. And by doing that,
your whole world change while you're standing there going,
yeah,
like all around you.
It was like Shannon, I opened the curtains.
Brian said, I'm going to do this and this and that. Like you had to make decisions in the interim, but this whole thing just, I mean, from my eyes, I'm just like, wow, God, that's awesome.
Well, it is. And I'm enjoying it. But the trick for me, because Shannon, I have an ego, just a little one.
It's okay.
But the trick for me is to not grab hold of those reins again and want to take control because everything's going so well, right? When things are going good, we think we want to take credit.
Touching it, right?
I want to take credit for it.
In life, you're just supposed to receive, and this is that time.
Well, sometimes that's hard for work. Sometimes that's very hard for an egomaniac like me, right? Because let me tell you, when things are going good, I want to take credit and I want to go, yeah, look what I did. But you know what? That's bullshit, man. Some of it's a little small part of it is we get lucky once in a while. It doesn't matter who you are or how long you're in the trucking business or any type of business. Every once in a while, you're going to catch a break and you'll get lucky. But the rest of it, the bigger portion of it is just sitting back going, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy this ride because if I try to take the steering wheel here, I'm going to screw this up beyond all recognition.
You're going to screw up the whole thing. It's like when you pull a thread out of a rug, like don't touch it. Let it flow. Receive and let it flow and just just overflow all the good things that are coming out of it out to those around you. And
It is.
it's amazing. So I'm so happy. And Sterling says letting go of the reins 100%. There you go. Chief Howler has an important question. He wants to know, how do you get over selling your truck? This
I
is
cried
therapy.
a lot. I cried a lot. I put my head on Victoria's shoulder and just wept like a little schoolgirl.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It had to do, Cheap Freight Hauler, it had to do with the simple fact that I had to come to the acceptance that that part of my life was coming to a close, but the other doors had opened for me. Right. I didn't do
Yeah.
anything without a plan. Like when it comes to business, I didn't do anything without a plan. Everything that I have done, or everything that's going on business wise, has been, systematically set up to happen, so that as that truck got sold, the other door was open. I was already walking through that door. So that kind of took the some of the oomph off taking that hit of selling that truck.
Yeah,
Right.
like that
Because
helped
I've
keep you
sold
sane because you were able to keep taking
steps forward. Right. Now,
Yeah.
it would have been harder for me if I'd have just sold the truck, walked away, shut down
Had,
YouTube, and did
had nothing
nothing.
to do. Yeah.
And did nothing. I'd probably be a babbling idiot more than I am now. But the fact that I had another step, another portion to my life had opened up. So this portion had ended. Long haul trucking was over. Owner operator, the driving as an owner operator was over. Those days were over. But what was next? Well, I at that time I was 50. I'm 55 years old, right? I was 55 early, when it
Happy
happened.
birthday early, by the way.
Thank you. I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But that portion of my life was over, and I had to come to an acceptance. But knowing that, okay, we're going to close this door, and we're going to walk through this door, and this is what we're going to do. And it was enough. Some guys can, and some guys can't. I've got a friend of mine. He retired, or he's retiring, and he's struggling. Like, he is absolutely struggling like mad right now. What am I going to do? How am I going to live? Well, dude, if you can't afford to live and you don't know what you're going to do, brother, you might want to give your head a shake, right? You might want to start changing your plan. But as long as you've got something else to do, and if it means just going out and playing, if you're a golfer and it means going out and playing 75 rounds of golf a week, then go do it. For me, it didn't. Did I go play some golf? Yeah. Am I gonna fill my time with it?
Are there other
No.
things you wanted to try in life when you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do when you grew up?
I'm doing them. I'm
Right.
some of
But
those
some
things.
people don't. Some people aren't imagining life beyond trucking, right?
Right.
And you got lots of time to think about it out here, guys, while you're driving. Like,
I've had plenty of years
Lord
to think
always
about
says
it.
have a plan B. Like, have a
Yeah.
plan B, because you could get injured at any time. Look at Wheelburner. Like, out of nowhere, his retina's detached and he literally lost his eyesight. That was completely unexpected. He had no plan B for that. Like, and what can you do? Right. And I want to thank God for that too. That, Lord, man, that was a miracle. But
well, you were a big part of that, Shannon. You were a big part of that, because you were, aside from my immediate family who was there taking care of me and everything like that, there was you, Sterling, Guard Dog, Tolga. There was about 4 or 5 of you, but you and Guard Dog were at the top of the list on checking in on me.
Mr.
Hey,
B,
how are you? What's
Mr.
going
B,
on? How are you feeling? You know what?
yeah.
Keep your shit together. You're okay.
Oh, we lost him. Hang in there, guys. I don't know if you can even, I don't know if this is me or his connection. Stay with us. Stay with us. His phone might have died. Can you hear me? What are you guys seeing out there? Is it me? Can you see me? Oh, you can see me. Okay. Well, we lost Wilbur. God, what a girl. I love. Oh, here he is. Here he is. We got him back. We got him back. Okay, we're back.
We lost power. We just lost power.
Oh wow.
I had to jump on. I had to jump on my phone here. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're back. Okay.
The good thing is I can now walk around.
Yeah. There we go.
So, yeah, I don't know what the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about just I was talking about when you lost your sight and
right. And it was
having a plan B in trucking for the next part, and people don't think about it, and they should think about it before something unexpected happens. Have a plan B. Think about what else you want to do in life.
Well, that's, you know what, Shannon, I didn't have a plan B for that. I had nothing for that one. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had money in the bank and I was able to sustain myself, but not indefinitely. I had, that kind of plan was set. Obviously, there's always contingencies and emergencies, but having that happen and not knowing until they took those bandages off whether I was going to be able to, because they were, by the time I had the eighth surgery, they didn't tell me anything. They were saying, when you had the first surgery, they were going, okay, you're probably going to have about 85, 90%. And then as the surgeries went on, by the time the last surgery happened, they were going, we don't know. When we take them off, you'll know. And it's like, that's scary.
Yeah, that was so up in the air. And you were also talking about, you were listing people that were checking on you. I did want to, I know Mr. B's was checking on you every single day.
I'm sorry, you know what? I totally forgot. I totally forgot about Tom. Or Mr. B's. I did. Again, he much like yourself, every day. And if I didn't speak to him every day, he emailed me or texted me every single day. Right.
Looks like Olga says, yeah, this is what happens when you're not going to count me on top of that list, yo. When you disappear.
Yeah, Tolga cut my power, right? No, the lights, I don't know if you know, the lights are on again. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah. That's Tolga. No, thanks, yeah. Tolga. Tolga, turn my power back on, please. Keep it on.
I love being your friend and watching from the sidelines and seeing how much everything has changed, not just once, but then the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. And I could not imagine what it was like to go through, like, actually losing your sight, and then knowing that you're supporting your family, and then that all being, like, ripped away from me. Like, that is huge. And that's where my heart was at when I was thinking about you and when we were talking about in the lives and stuff like that. Like, and then lo and behold, praise the Lord, you got your sight back. But then your life just began to completely change, and your career was starting, like, every single thing. And it has been such an amazing journey to watch. And I know this is like stuff you're not just reporting or putting out there, like just being your friend and just seeing, it's just wow. Like, to watch someone's life and a lot of magnificent and huge things, some bad, some rough, some hard, and you stick it out and just letting being able to, like, let it happen and not fall down and back to some old ways or no crutches, nothing, man. I'm just so grateful to see something so amazing and watch how you navigated it. And it's just so awesome to me. Like,
I've been lucky, Shannon.
It's like a treasure in my life. And that's what I really love to see in people, is the things, just how they do things, and you're just an inspiration to me, not only in trucking and being a mentor in trucking, but I just love you more and more all the time. Like, it's just so cool.
I've been lucky to a degree. I've been very fortunate that and actually I didn't do it. You know, just the world surrounded me with some good people. Right when I
Yeah,
needed to
at the
cry,
right
I had
time.
some. When I had needed to cry, I always had somebody to cry on. When I
Yeah,
needed, you know, when I had good news, I had always had somebody that I could share that news with. When I needed advice, and I
yeah,
think a lot of that, look upon yourself and what you're doing right now. Look at the people that are around you. The people that you go to for advice, the people that you go to for inspiration, the people that you go to for a good kick in the ass. You know, a good kick in the ass.
yeah,
Shannon, you need a good kick in the ass just as well as I do once in a while. You know,
yeah. And I know
those are
who
the
to call.
people. Those are the people that, believe it or not, when you're down and out, that are still there going, hey, man, like, we'll pick you up. We'll dust you off.
Yeah,
Let's keep on going. Right. Everybody
yeah.
else scatters like roaches when you turn turn the lights on.
Well,
But
you know, you figure out who really cares about you, you know, or
you do.
and some people care about you, but they're going through their own stuff. Like, granted,
No,
like, and
and
that's
that's true
okay.
too. And I've been guilty of that as well. Shannon, I've been guilty of, you know, kind of backing away from people that, you know, that have required some help or have called for advice, and maybe I didn't return a phone call when I should have, or I wasn't quick enough to return a text. And I've been guilty of getting wrapped up in my own shit and kind of forgetting about some of the people that got me to where I am. Right? These are the same people that helped me up, that did everything like you said. And you know, I've been guilty of it in the past. Because none of us are perfect, but at least recognizing the fact that, you know what, sometimes I'm ignorant. There's no other word for it. Sometimes I'm Shannon, I'm just ignorant. And
Yeah,
recognizing that, and taking steps to correct that, going back to people and saying, hey, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'm not giving an excuse, not saying the word but. I was wrong, but no, there's no but. I was wrong. What I said was wrong. What I did was wrong. How I reacted was wrong. I don't justify it. I take it. I own it. And then I try to move on and do better. And do I always do better? Sometimes, most of the time,
hey,
I'd like
we
to think,
all,
yeah, I do.
no, none of us are perfect, and we all make mistakes, man, and we all get mad at each other, and we all forgive each other, or some people we just let go, and some people, you know, it just depends. But
Yeah,
um
the hardest thing to do is let people that you love and care about, let them go. You know,
yeah,
sometimes that's just the hardest thing to do. I want to
and
tell.
sometimes it's forgiveness, right? Sometimes
Oh,
you gotta forgive, and then it's
forgiveness.
mercy. You gotta have
Forgiveness
mercy,
sometimes
man,
sucks. You see,
because
you might have a handle on that. You can forgive and then show mercy, and you've already done it today, as I've seen. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'll tell you on the phone later. But you know, you've forgiven and you've shown mercy. Sometimes I don't do that. I'll forgive you, but I won't forget about it, which means that there's no mercy involved. It means that I've just forgiven and I've moved on. The mercy
well,
part,
I think the
or
whole mercy is the being able to not forget, but you get past it. You forgive. You choose to forgive. That's where mercy is.
I
Because,
agree, and I
you
stumble
know,
on that. I do. Sometimes I stumble. That's a stumbling block for me. Sometimes is I will forgive you, but I got a long fucking memory.
yeah, but it also depends on how the whole thing can move past that. Because, you know, it's like, what's that saying where it's like, you burn me once, shame on you. How's that go?
Yeah, you burn
Shame
me
on
once,
you.
shame on you. You burn me twice, shame on me. You
Right.
burn me a third
So,
time, you burn me a third time, then find me a shovel.
see you later. Um,
Yeah,
so the hardest part is letting past traumas affect somebody's first or second offense in a new friendship, right? At least
agreed,
for me. I've
agreed.
been, whew. So that's going to be hard for all of us, and that's where, see, love doesn't come without sacrifice, and
Oh
you can
man,
choose to love somebody, and even if, like, if I love you, Brian, and you're just being a complete a-hole, bro. Like, let's say you relapse. Let's say you did something really dumb, man. Like, I have a choice in that moment to even if it took you years or 10 years, like, how big can you go? Sometimes somebody can be a complete idiot for a couple years before they pull their head out of their ass and look around and say, oh my God, what have I done? And who's still around, right?
Right.
Can you love somebody through that?
Yes.
Are you really their friend? If you can hold out, and it doesn't mean you got to be close to them all that time. But when you start to see them actually come up for air in the right direction, can you be like, you got to let it all go?
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
if that happened and I'm like, oh my gosh, Brian, and no matter what I tell you, you're not listening. It's like, I got to let you go. But the day that I see you start making an effort and you're starting to get it, and I feel safe to come back to you and say, okay, let's pick up where we left off. So, let's keep you in a good momentum, like, and I'm back to you again.
right.
But I can't say I can be with people the whole time they're being nuts. I can't, because I'm
Agreed.
sensitive myself. I'm traumatized from some of my past myself that I'm trying to heal through. And for my own safety and sanity, I have to separate myself from some demonic things that happen to other people, because I can see what it is.
Agreed.
You know, and it's for my own safety, because I've not always been good about that. And those are the bad decisions I've made that have subjected myself to more abusive or toxic situations. I finally had made a decision back a while ago that I no longer will allow that in my life for my own protection. I got to do
Well,
better about protecting myself,
myself as well. Um, to let
It's
get-
hard. It's hard when you care about people, because
to get back to what you were saying, for me to, so let's just
I'm going to
somebody
pee,
some
but listen while you're talking about this, because I'm going to lose my bladder. So keep going. I'm listening.
okay, for
Just
me
going to
to
take a little
forgive
break.
you and to move on, but separate myself from you, that's fine. But when I see you making an effort to try to better yourself, get back on track, then Shannon, it's not just my job or your job or anybody else. It's all of our job to, maybe what we were talking about earlier, is to turn around, extend the hand, and that comes with true forgiveness. Extend the hand and help the person up. I didn't get here by myself. I didn't do this by myself. I didn't get anywhere in my life by myself. It was people, places, and things and spirituality that got me where I am. I take a little bit of credit for opening my mind enough to let other people and other things help me. But now it's my job now to turn around and give some of that back to the next person that's struggling, the next person that needs help. Even if you've burned me, and I know that I might get burnt again, I will still try and help you to a degree. And with that comes with trust, right? That comes with trust. I have to trust you. Once I start to trust you again, and that for me is very hard. Once you've broken my trust and you've disintegrated that relationship, it's very hard for me to trust you again and to let you in to that level of who I am. But once we do have that trust and we've established that trust again, then you know what? I will go out of my way and I will do what I can to help you, but I will always be a little bit cautious. And I can't help that. Maybe that's good, maybe
There's
that's bad.
consequences, right? And that's the thing. I had to learn too. There's consequences for things that I do. And even though you want to completely just put things back where that, like, I've hurt my children in certain little things, right? Or
Right?
let's just say regrets that I have as a mother, that I wish I know there's times I can look back and I could have done better, right? I tend to beat
Sure.
myself up about I think every parent does. But instead of, you have to realize clearly that there are and the Bible says this, there's consequences for your sin and what you do, and or your bad decisions. And those don't go away. There's going to be a price that has to be paid one way or another. And sometimes that really hurts when you've damaged something that you had with somebody.
Yes.
And the only thing you can do is start today and just rebuild that, because trust is something that takes time after somebody's given it to you openly and you destroyed it.
Yes.
And it can come back, but this time it's a little harder. This time it takes more time. This time you have to take it in, step by step. And and when it's you that you feel like you've wronged somebody, you have to forgive yourself, and you have to be willing to take the consequences, because that can't be changed. You can't just
No.
flip a switch and be like, okay, everything's all right. You can forgive somebody, and yes, it is okay. But that part that you're talking about, that bond has to be rebuilt. And building a bond after being burned takes work. And two people, three people, whatever, a family willing to keep it together because they love each other. and
Agree.
and consequences suck, but you don't get away from them. And anybody who's in here who's thinking that you've been running your whole life without the consequences, I know Brian's a person that can tell you, and I can tell you too, but I know his testimony, and this man could definitely say that the consequences are hard, the consequences are painful, the consequences cost and take time, and there's a lot of work that has to do in repairing something that you've wrecked, or somebody that you betrayed that you never meant to or wanted to, but
I've
it
paid,
can
Shannon,
be done.
I've paid a dear price,
Yeah,
a serious price in my life, and not always back then, even up until, even recently, where, the consequence, or let's just say, like, I broke somebody else's trust, right? I broke somebody else's trust, very close friend. I broke the trust. Now I'm on the other end of that, right? Usually we talk about people that break our trust, and do we forgive them and everything like that. So how
yeah.
did you know?
Oh, their fault.
I had to turn around and go, I fucked this up, and not only did I screw it up, I screwed it up royally. So first of all, what was my part in it? Right? What did I do?
Yeah.
I obviously knew what I did. That's
Being
that's an
honest
easy
with
one.
yourself and taking accountability is
And take
the biggest
take
first step.
responsibility. But
Yeah,
before you can take responsibility, there has to be an element of forgiveness. And it's not that I have to forgive them because they're the one that got crossed. I got to forgive myself, right?
yeah,
I did this. I recognize that I did this. I'm going to pay the price for it. These are the consequences I know that are coming down the pipe. I know the consequences are coming. It's time to
it
put on
hurts.
your it's time to put on your big girl panties and step up and
Yep.
take your hits. And if it turns out, and then then you go and you don't try to repair the relationship, but the first thing you do is you make your amend. You make your
Yep.
amend. And you do it heartfully. You not hurtfully, heartfully. You do it and truly mean it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I did this. And you don't give an excuse as to why you did it. I'm sorry I did this, but when you hear that but, there's a load of bullshit coming right after that. Right?
Yeah.
So this is what I did. I'm very sorry. I'm truly sorry. I will do my very best in the future to never ever let that happen again. Please, if you can, forgive me. If you can't, I understand. I truly do. You are hurt. You are upset. You are betrayed. You are whatever. Um, I will leave it here. Just know that I will never do it again. I'm very sorry, and that's where I have to leave it. Then it's now on their side of the street. I've taken care of my
Right.
side of the street. Now it's on their side of the street. Now they have to go through all the things that you just talked about of, forgiveness, love, forgiveness, understanding, and then maybe they will start to trust again. And when they start to trust again, you have to leave it into God's hands that He will bring that person back to you, And then you can either start the relationship over again or pick it up where it left off, or you can somewhere in the middle,
Or
right?
you can
Somewhere in
leave
the
it
middle.
there.
Or you
You can
or
leave
you
it
could just
there.
leave it there. There may not be a relationship, but at least both sides of the street are clean. You
Yeah,
know?
you got to sweep your own porch, everybody, right?
Yeah,
You got to
and
sweep your own porch. And that
believe
is
me though.
the hardest thing to do. One of the hardest things to do is dealing with your part first,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you can't like Will Werner said, you can't go to another person and say, but if you got a butt, you ain't done over here yet.
Yeah.
Like still got work to do, and it's a lot of work. And so the moral to all this is that make good decisions and capture your thoughts before you run your mouth, and control your
Oh.
tongue, and
Let the
realize
second
that
thought,
everybody, yeah,
let the
let
second
that
thought in
sink
your
in.
head, right? The best piece of
Yeah,
advice that was ever given to me
say that.
because of who let the second thought in your head be the first one out of your mouth. Because Brian, if you say the first thing you think about, 90% of the time it's wrong.
Right. And you know what? And I'm glad you've said that for a while, and I really let that sink in. Like, you know what? That is a wisdom statement right there, because look, you get so flippant in your emotions and your fire and all this stuff, but wisdom comes when you learn to control your flesh, control yourself, control your mouth, control how you react. You don't have to react to everything all the time. Sometimes it's
Agreed.
good to just shut the F up and observe, and then
And I
deal with something before you ever let your reaction be a choice, right?
well, and that's a result, Shannon. That's a kind of result of where I've been as well, right? When there's nothing to
Yeah,
say, don't say anything at all,
yeah.
right? And
And it's
that's
hard when you're so used to, like, I know what to say in this situation, and then you have situations in your life, and you finally learn to shut up
up.
and
Yeah.
listen to just observe what's going on. And because that was me. Like, I'm the matriarch of my family. I have all the answers. I have all the solutions. And
Me too.
I had to I had to realize that, my kids are smart, and I raised them. And so you have to sit back and say, I got to shut up and let them figure this one out, you know?
Yeah.
And same way with friendships. Like, I got a friend who I just can't stand to talk to, because I can't deal with it. Like, there's so much going on there, and I just am like, this is making me nuts, and I just need to stay quiet. Not because
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to fight. I don't want to ruin our friendship, but I just got to leave it alone and just shut up.
Yeah.
And that's some of the best stuff that I've learned in this life. Is I wish I could have learned how to shut my mouth earlier,
Me too.
but I've always
Me
been
too.
so outgoing, and I'm a Sagittarius. So I'm an adventure person, and it's just like I'm always into whatever, and
Yeah.
when I
Well,
started to shut my mouth, boy, I started to feel like this
my
is
opinion,
this is a life that's
my
precious.
opinion on anybody's life, my opinion on your life or my children's lives or Victoria's life, or my opinion means this: unless it's asked for, don't.
Yes.
Right? My problem, one of my problems has always been, right, I'll tell you how to fix it, I'll tell you how to do this, I'll tell you, but these are just my opinions. Doesn't mean they're always right, but this is just my opinion. And keeping my opinions and my advice to myself until somebody says, hey Bri, what do you think of this? Or hey Dad, this is what I'm doing, what do you think of this? Right?
Yeah.
And that's been very, very hard for me, very hard for me to keep my
I got
opinions.
so used to telling my kids what to do, like, and then I lit after I was thinking about what you said, and I've heard other people say it too, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna let my kids show me who they are and how they're gonna deal with it. So I began to just offer suggestion only, because I realize every time I tell my kids what to do, they don't do it.
Yeah,
So
I
I
know.
was like, okay, they're they're they don't appreciate it, right? And so I stopped Like if somebody doesn't appreciate it, I don't need to keep talking, even though I'm like, I'm telling you, you have parasites and you have to do this, right? Whatever it might be, your sugar, me telling you, stop drinking the Dr. Pepper. Look, I've said
Good
what I've
luck.
said. Right. And so I don't need to waste that energy anymore. You know I'm here. I
Yeah.
know information. You know I love you. And I said what I had to say because I love you, because that's my responsibility. But I don't need to say it no more. And I've told my kids their whole life what to do, how to figure things out, how to think and whatever. And now they're grown, they're mothers, they're wives. It's time for me to just listen, and when they want mom's opinion, they'll
Give
ask
it to
for
them.
it, and that's when I will give it. Because
Right.
they don't listen to any damn word I say unless if I'm just like blah blah blah, you know. And so I just
I'm
quit. It's just taking too much energy out of me.
I made a comment in your chat like way back about an hour or so ago, and the comment was, when I was 25 years old, I couldn't believe how stupid my parents were. By the time when I was
Yeah,
20 years old, I couldn't believe how stupid my parents were. And by the time I was 35, I couldn't believe how much they'd smartened up. And you read it and you made a comment, but you missed what I was saying. What I was saying, the perspective wasn't on my parents. The perspective was on me. When I was 20 years old, anything my parents tried to tell me or help me with, I just threw it out
yeah,
the window and went, "You're
me
stupid. What do
too.
you know?" But by the
Me
time I was
too.
35, that same advice and my mind was starting to open and I was becoming more accepting to, obviously I'd matured, I'd grown up, I'd gotten smart, well, smarter. And I
Made
said,
some
I couldn't
mistakes
believe,
and learned from
I
'em.
could, I couldn't believe how much my parents had smartened up. My parents didn't get any smarter. I had opened up the fact that I was willing to listen to this advice now and know that, you know what, they're not just saying it to ramble and to to chirp off or to, they're telling me certain things in life because they've been there, they've lived it, they've, whatever the
Yeah,
case may be. So the perspective wasn't that my parents got smarter. My parents were like this when I was 20, and they were right here again when I was 35. Me, I was down here when I was 20. I was up here when I was 35. They're the same advice and the same things they were telling me sounded differently, and I was willing to listen to it. My parents didn't get any smarter. I did, right? And that's a
yeah,
perspective on that. And I try to think the same way with my kids. When my kids say, even when they ask me for advice, and this kills me, Shannon, it kills me, it drives me right around the drives me batshit crazy. Hey, Dad, this is what's happening. This is the situation. This is the dollar, or whatever the situation may be. What do you think? What would you do? And it's something that, let's say it's something that I've done a million times and I know the answer. It's quick, it's easy. Hey, we can fix this. And you tell it to them and they do the exact opposite and end up in a worse position than they started. I don't have any hair, but I would literally pull my freaking hair out, Shannon, watching these idiots do this, right? And I'd be ranting and raving and, oh my God, I fucking told you. What are you doing? And it's to no good. All I'm doing is
yeah,
raising my own blood pressure, right?
yeah,
Driving and my stress level. It's like, okay, well, stop doing that, Bri. Give them the
yeah,
advice if they ask for it, only if they ask for it, and then whatever they do with it is entirely up to them.
yeah.
Unless it's a life threatening decision, then
Right,
obviously dad the parent will step in and not dad the friend or the guidance will step in, right?
right.
But for everyday life bullshit stuff that 20, 25, 26, 30-year old kids are going through today, hell, I've been there. There's
Yeah,
probably not, I tell my kids this all the time, there's probably nothing that you've done or that you're gonna do that I haven't done twice, wrote it backwards, wrote the book, and got it patented. I guarantee you
that's what
that
I
there's
told my
nothing.
girls. There's
And they
nothing
go,
you can
yeah,
pull on
yeah,
me because I've done
whatever.
it all. Yeah,
Yeah, well, and they shrug their shoulders and go, yeah, 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 the old man's just blowing hot air. Well, you know what? Okay, take that for whatever it's worth. But it's
yeah,
very hard. It's still it's easy for me to sit here and talk to you about it and say it, but man, is it hard to do.
I know. And so that's where my kids are at right now. They're anywhere from, well, my youngest is 23 and then my oldest is like almost 30 now. And they got all the little kids and all this. And after me being quiet and just being out here on the road dealing with my own, for a time and just out here driving, that's allowed a lot of silence between, kept me a little more farther away from their situations. And I am thankful that all of it worked together, because now my kids, before they make any major financial decisions, they call me to check with me first, which that's what I wanted in the beginning when I was offering all my advice.
Yeah.
But they had to go through some hardship, like, oh, we're broke, we can't afford groceries, it's a bad month, or whatever. I had to let them feel it. And
Yeah.
and now they're like, man, Mom, I wish I would have listened to you. I wouldn't have bought a new car.
Yeah.
Because they all went out
Yeah.
and bought new cars, and I jumped up and down and screamed about it, but they did it anyways because they had to
Yeah.
have all that. And so to me, I'm grateful because my words did get through. Because as a parent, you start feeling like, how do I save them from themselves,
Yeah.
And so now it gives me a little bit of jewels in from the universe that's like, okay, some of my work, all that to make sure that they're good people, like, it's in there. It's coming out in little pieces. And so I
Yeah.
feel like,
Well,
those things that they're gonna be all right.
okay, so here, how do you deal with this? Okay. This is a real life situation. Okay.
Okay.
One of the kids comes to gets advice. And it's funny that you were talking about your kids all ran out and bought cars, right? Well, I've got a couple, same goddamn thing. This is the wrong time. You're not in the right position. Da 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 da. When they first asked, this is
Car's twice the price of your house, like, or something.
exactly. So you give the advice, they don't take it. They go and buy the car, and they go and buy the cars, plural. And then, 2 months later, their rent isn't paid, and they don't have they don't have food or money to go grocery shopping. And they come to you and say, listen, this is the situation. Our car payment is like $1,100 a month. Our rent is this. Our da, 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 da. We can't afford. We can either make the car payment, or we can eat, or we can make the car payment and not pay the rent, or we can. Is there any way you could, like, help us out? Like, can you lend us $1,000, or lend us whatever? Now, what with most children, and I was the same when I was that age, when you ask your parents to lend you money, goddamn well as a parent, you're never going to see that money again. Right? That's a
Yeah.
lesson from the older
Yeah.
kids. That's a lesson I learned from the older kids. When they say the word lend, it does, or borrow, that means jack. Right? You're never
Yeah.
going to see that money again. So do
Nuh-uh.
I turn around?
I still owe my mom money, okay? I still owe my own
I
mom
don't
money.
I don't. Right? I don't owe anybody any money. But do I turn around and say, okay, here, I'll lend you $1,000 or whatever it is you need. You're going to make a payment plan. You're going to fill out this thing. You're going to fill out this contract, and you're going to make it, and you're paying this back to me. And, or do I just give it to them knowing I'm going to lose it? Or do I give it, what would you do in that situation? Because this is a situation that I'm dealing with right now. And I don't want to see any of my kids struggle, but they're going to, and I have to let them. And that's part of life. It's not my job to bail them out. It's my job to maybe help them as they're bailing themselves out, or give them some guidance.
This
But when
is
you
how I
cross,
would deal with this, okay? Are we talking about just $1,000? The money thing that means something, right? How much is it? Is it $10,000? Is it $1,000? Is this grocery
no,
money? Like, what are we talking
it's about $1,200. It's not a lot.
about? Okay. So this is how I would do it. I would tell them, I'm going to give it to you, but you're going to pay me back as soon as you can. Agreed? Okay. The next thing I'm going to tell you with this is that don't ask me for it again. You're going to need to fix your financial situation. And then I would have a discussion about where your budget is really hurting, which would probably lead to the car. And then I will tell you, you need to probably sell that car if you can.
Yeah.
And I will give the advice on what to do. Leave it at that, because then they're in a situation. Now, I would only give them the money if because they got the babies. This is all on the behalf of the children, right?
Yeah.
But
No,
I would
this
tell
not
them
that
they'd have
daughter.
to pay me back, but I wouldn't expect it. I really wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't count it like, oh, I'm depending on getting that money back. That's my child, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
then when they
$1,200.
have the
It's
money,
not a lot of money.
right. But then when they have the money and they say, here, I'm going to give this back to you. And then I'm the parent who's guilty of like, no, just keep it and put it in your savings account, or pay an extra car payment, right? Or whatever.
I've already done
But
that.
the
Like, I've
fact,
done
what
that.
I want to see from them is the effort that they're, you know what I mean? The effort that
Yeah.
they're going to pay me back, but I'm not going to take it from them, you know?
But here's the
You know,
here's the burn. Here's the burn. Because I've done this in the past, not necessarily with this daughter, but with another daughter. Given the money, they swear up and down, okay, this is, and kind of went down the path. Okay, how are you going to fix this? When I give you this money, what's it going to fix? Where's it going? How's it going to fit? And how's it going to, what are you going to do to prevent yourself from being in this position again? And then, like 2 weeks
exactly.
later, I see a post on
That's the lecture
Facebook.
that they get.
Well, yeah, but then 2 weeks later, I see a post on Facebook. Oh, they've got a new animal and they've got themselves tickets booked to go down to New Orleans for a vacation. Wait the fuck a minute. Two weeks ago, you
Oh,
couldn't feed yourself, right? 2 weeks ago, you couldn't feed
I'd
yourself
be
or your
like,
rent wasn't getting paid.
yeah, I'd be like, give me those tickets and I'll be going on a trip, not you, because you can't
Well,
afford
it's something very
I mean, I'm
similar to
kidding,
that
but
happened, right? So you kind of
yeah,
learn after getting burned. You become skeptical, but you got to realize as well, every one of your children is different. Right? Just because
yeah.
one child does it or did this situation doesn't mean that this one is going to do it. Right? But
Oh,
god
my
damn it,
kids
man.
are very different. Yeah, because they're one of those kids. I went through the within the last year, and I've learned that with this particular child, from now on, this is how I handle it. You need help with a bill, and you're telling me that you are going to give. Oh, did we got to check? You're going in and out, Brian.
Yeah, I think it's on your end.
Oh, is it? Probably. Okay. So now if they tell me, hey, mom, I got to make this payment or whatever, I got a loan payment that I'm a little short on, whatever, or I got to make this, or I got this and this, then what I do now is with that particular child, because she played me for a while. So
Yeah.
now whatever she gives me that she's short on the money for this, I make her give me either the login so I can log in and pay it for her, or
Yes.
I give her the money and then she has to send me the receipt,
Yeah.
right? Or screenshot or whatever. I hate to be that person, but she's put me there.
Well, I
So
think that's the route. I think that's the route
yeah,
that I will take with this.
like I need the receipt. I need to show that you took this money, you spent it here, or you can have such and such company call me and I will pay them from my own account for you.
Right.
Like, do
Yeah.
what it is. Like for one, like she had to have something done at a plumber at the house, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, when they're done, you just have their billing officer call me and then I pay for it, right? That's how I've come to deal with that child. So
That
and it
is
sucks,
that
but
that is
that's
probably
what has happened.
well, no, that's good advice, and that's probably the route that I will take. Right? Show me the bill or show
Yeah,
me the invoice or show me whatever. Now if you're going, well, no, I need it for groceries. Well, then tell me where you shop, right? Up in Canada, they got goddamn
yeah,
gift cards for every grocery store, right? If you're short on
right.
groceries, I can go online right now and I can buy a $500, $1,000 gift card for whatever grocery store chain is closest to your house, and there you go. There's your
Yep,
groceries, but you're not
yep.
getting $1,000 cash to go party and do whatever you want
And it
with.
sucks because you run into the same kind of decision with the beggars on the street, right? You're like, gosh, I
Oh,
want to help them, but I don't know what they're going to do with the money. You know, it's like, oh, my little baby is just like, I gotta run that same thought process. Like, I want to make sure you're gonna use the money. But it's, I will say, like, it started out, she was younger, she wasn't stable. That's when it really got bad. And now she's married and has kids, and she's a lot better. And she she's very careful when she asks me, because she doesn't want her, in her own pride, she's gotten to the point where, like, she knows what she's done before, and she doesn't want to ask me for money.
Yeah.
But I never make it easy. Like, they're gonna get a lecture. They're gonna get, like, hey, didn't I tell you to not buy that car? I told you so. They're gonna get it. I got, out of love, I gotta burn their ass a little bit, you know.
Well,
So it
I
comes
do
with
it.
a price.
I do it because I'm going to get my digs in now before I know, because if I'm going to get burnt, I want to get my digs in now. Right. So,
Yeah. No, you're like, there's a price for this money, and you're gonna listen to me for 10 minutes, and I know it's everything you don't want to listen to it. So it's made her be very more apprehensive about just flippantly calling for me for money. Like, she
no,
don't want to hear me talk. She don't
no, exactly.
like, it's
Exactly.
exhausting. So
I
mean,
give
let's help.
I give a university grade class in lecturing. Okay. I can lecture the ass off
Yeah.
any one of my kids to the point where they're willing to go, fuck it, I'll be homeless before I call him again. Right. And
Yeah.
I've done
And
that.
that's really the best way to handle it. You can't make it a comfortable thing, because then the child learns, just like even when they were 2 years old, they learn how to play the game,
Oh yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah.
And
Come on.
so
Little
you
girls
got to
with
be
me.
like,
I got little
yeah,
girls, man. Every one of them has me wrapped around their finger, right? They do.
right.
But
You know?
but if you look at what Sterling said there, and there's a huge element of truth to that, right? The difference between struggling and suffering, right? I will never allow one of my children to suffer. Okay, I will let you struggle.
Right.
I will let you struggle. I will let you fight for your life to keep your head above water. And then when you're about to go down and drown, then I'll help you out. I won't let you suffer, but I will let you struggle. And
Right.
struggling, Shannon, I struggled. I still struggle sometimes with certain things. You've struggled. God knows, woman, you've struggled in your life, you know,
Yeah.
but I won't let one of my kids suffer. Or I won't let anybody suffer
Yeah.
for that matter, right? It doesn't matter who you are,
The
even the
only
hobo,
the only
even the
time
homeless guy on the street.
there was a time I had to let my daughter suffer for a little bit, but it was her learn a lesson that for me. But
Yeah,
it was to the point where I had to do it.
yeah.
And it hurt me a lot, but I had to make, it was a tough love decision, and she suffered, and it killed me, but
Well,
it was one of those things,
you're
you
one
know.
you're one tough broad because I'm a puss, right? I really am. When it comes to
Well,
that,
my
I'm a puss.
problem was I was over and over and over and over and over and over and over again,
Right.
right? I
Yeah, I'm
didn't
not
stick to
there.
my punishments. I didn't stick to my word when I said something. Like, that was my fault.
Sure.
But the only way to correct it was to let her feel the consequences of her decisions.
Sure.
Lord knows that's
Gotcha.
one of the most valuable things I ever learned, that saved my life. And I
Yeah.
needed my child to really, really, really let that hit home. And so I had to step back and be serious, like brick wall serious,
Yeah.
and let her suffer the consequences for a little while. And then and that's my kid. She's tough. She's way tough. I knew she'd figure it out. But the only way for her to really do that and fix herself and take responsibility, like really see what's going on, that what she's doing, is to let her fall into it, you know? And I knew she was okay. Like, I wasn't going to let her be hurt or nothing like that, but
Sure.
I
Sure.
had to let her suffer a little bit. And
Yeah.
it was the thing that finally changed her direction. But it sucked for me. I was bawling. I was miserable. Like, it was the hardest thing. But it was the one thing I had to do to save her life, you
Right.
know? I
I've
probably
not
wouldn't have her
experienced that.
today.
I've not experienced that. Not with any of my kids. I have not experienced that level where, you know, I've had to make some decisions with the kids that hurt me, but nothing to what you're talking about like that, where, you know, where you're in tears or your heart is breaking or, you know,
Yeah. But
nothing
she
like
was
that.
literally like drugs were involved
Yeah.
and she was manipulating me. And I
Yeah.
had to stop it. And it sucked. It's because she always thought that I was the carpet, and that's my fault. Like I said again, like I love her so much. Like there's nothing I wouldn't give to her, and that was turned out to be a bad thing at a point.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Well,
know, and
I
it's
don't
like,
ever want to turn into that.
whew,
Right. I don't want to turn into the repeat doormat where they, you know, like you said, when they were 2 years old and they're playing you because they know that they can.
yeah,
Right. And I don't want that to happen. Now, again, this is only just one kid that I'm dealing with this. The other ones are all, you know, pretty much self-employed, self-sustaining, you
yeah.
know,
It's
very
the is it the
driven.
middle one? Because mine's the middle one, right? It's the
Yeah.
typical middle child.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
Yeah. The four kids, the sisters above her, are all like hunger driven, career orientated, putting their
no worries.
families together,
Yep,
self-employed. You know, they're fighting their own fight, but they're succeeding at it.
yep,
And the two younger ones below her, same thing. They're just coming into their own. You know, they're 23 and 24. So one of them's just finishing college, and you know, so they've got their own battles. But at least the middle one just seems to be the one that just wants to fuck and drag at my heartstrings and break my heart. And I don't know what it is because she's got two parents, right? Whether they're together or not, she's got two parents that have always worked hard, always
yeah,
been driven, always given that kind of guidance to, you know, to that kind of thing. You know, the kids have always been loved. They've been, you know, they've never lived poorly. And, but yet this one just, how do you light a fire on it's basically it's how do you light a fire under somebody's ass and give them a kick in the ass and go like, hey, like you know how to do it, you know what to do, you know where you're going and where you want to be, go do it.
yeah,
Right, stop using the word but dad. It's like if you say but one more time, you know you're bordering on physical violence here, child. Like it's like,
that's where the tough love has to come in, and
oh,
you
I
have to
know.
put them in a corral that they can only go one way to get out of.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
And
that's
and
where
if
I'm
you're
at.
enabling that child, I was enabling mine, and that's my bad. Don't you have to stop the enabling? Like even if it's like you got 30 days to figure out where you're moving, what you're gonna do, and how you're gonna pay your bills because it's done. You know, stuff like that. I don't
Yeah, yeah,
think that's the situation, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like as a parent, because that either they're gonna shit or get
yeah.
because you know.
Well, I think a timeline is also a good idea. What you just said, like 30
Yeah,
days. Now, I'll give you a timeline. This is how much time you've got. I will lend you this money.
yeah,
And then whether it be 30 days, 60, whatever, you work it out and you go, either you start paying it back or I want to see progression in your situation. I want to see what that things are getting better for you and you're making smarter decisions. If
yeah.
you
And you gotta
don't,
give benchmarks. Like if I see this by this time and this by this time, then you know what? You don't even gotta worry about paying me back. But
right.
if you ain't here in 30 days or this or that, like then
Yeah,
you
the
better
bank of
figure out how to get a second job because you got to pay me back that money. Like stuff like
Exa-
that. You
the
got to
bank of
guide them.
dad is
That's
closed.
your job.
Yeah,
That's your
yeah.
job. If you're not leading your kids, I know some people are in situations where they unfortunately can't, but if you have your children or talk to your children, you're still their parent. You're still in a position where you have to lead them in whatever way that you can.
You're
And
right. And you would almost think
it
that
never ends.
as you would almost think, well, you're right. And you would almost think that as time goes on, the children get older, they become less dependent on the parents. I know that in my situation, I did. I left home when I was 17. I became less dependent at a very young
So did
age.
I. Yeah, me
my
too.
my kids, as they're growing older, and I would say this especially about the four older ones, they are very rarely, or not even very rarely, like never do they ever have their hand in my pocket wrapped around my wallet,
Yeah,
right?
my other
The,
ones
the,
don't either.
the younger ones, they've required some funds, but it's been for education or it's been for further advancement of other things where I was happy to, here, yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Let dad pick up the
Right.
tab for that, right?
Yeah.
But that, like you said, that middle one is just, God damn it, man.
Yeah. It's crazy how because it's not just ours or mine or yours. It's like every middle child has this thing, and
Yeah,
I don't understand it. But it because we can all go, "Oh, is that your middle child?" And we're like, "Yeah," and
yeah.
it's with
It,
everybody.
it was
It's
funny that you
crazy.
said that.
Yeah, it's a thing. Like I never thought it was for real, but I kept hearing mom say that, and I'm like, "Is that like really a thing?" And then I had one, and I was
Yeah,
like, and then my pastor's wife was like, she has 5 kids, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's your middle one,"
yeah,
and I'm like, "That's weird." They just require a little bit extra. I don't know why, but I will say this, that through all of the hard times with that one and the roller coaster of raising her, and she took the extra attention, and she caused the extra trouble. She is absolutely a wonderful mother today, and she is trying to those kids are trying to do everything they can the right way. And I still will say, like, you got to show me where this money's going if I'm giving it to you. But she rarely calls me for help anymore. Like she'll go
yeah.
work her ass off. And when I see
Well, that's
that,
good.
when she goes to work her ass off and tries to get it and she comes up short, I'm there all day,
Yeah.
anytime.
Well, that also shows that you've done the right thing and you've been successful, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
You've been
because that's
successful.
what I was trying to teach them. And that's what I showed them, that nothing in this life is free. And I spent multiple jobs trying to take care of those girls by myself. And all they saw me do was go to work, go to work, go to work. And and that's what so I prayed that I didn't want a deadbeat kid. I didn't want none of them to be dependent. Um, if that's where their life took them, I wanted them to have that drive and that fire that I have. Like, you get your ass up and get yourself out of your situation,
Right.
whatever you get yourself into.
Yeah.
And I knew that if I could at least give my kids that, then I could rest knowing like they're going to be okay. They know how to survive, and they know what
Agreed.
to do.
Yes.
They're not going to be putting themselves in compromised situations just to get money, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And so thankfully I can die at peace because my kids do have that, and I see that, and it's like, okay, nailed it, right? Everything else can be worked out.
Yeah. Well, I will. This is an ongoing thing right now. Like it's happening like right now, and
Yeah.
I will let you know how it works out and what the end result was or is when it happens.
Sometimes if you haven't had that moment with that child, it's like it's come to the kitchen table time and be like,
Y-
look, I
Yes.
love you. I'm gonna be here, but this is gonna change. Like, it's not gonna be this easy anymore because I gotta see you doing something,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that lays at home, and that's the conversation they don't want to hear.
Well,
But
here's the thing because I'm gonna see her over the holidays. Right. So
yeah,
either I'm gonna make, because I'm gonna have this conversation, right? I'm gonna have this conversation because I won't do it over the phone. I
yeah.
believe that conversations like that have to
Oh
happen
no,
face to face, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
So I'm going to have this because they're going to be here for probably 3 or 4 days over the holidays. So at some point, I'm not going to do it before the holiday or on the holiday, but at some point before they go home, it's going to be, hey, the two of you sit down here. We want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And, they're going to roll their eyes and go, whatever. But that
Well, you
talk
should
is,
always throw in there like I do. Like, I know you don't appreciate hearing this now, and it sounds like I'm just doing this, but I promise you're gonna understand when you're older.
yeah,
Like,
you may even thank me for it,
right, right.
and one day, one
Yeah,
day.
that's the price. Look, be strong. lead on, be a dad, don't be afraid. And this is one of those moments, and it's for their betterment, whether they are going to appreciate it or talk shit about you after they leave or not. It doesn't matter. Like, you
Oh, I
have to
don't
do your,
care.
yeah, you don't care.
I don't care.
You
I know
know,
for a fact they'll leave here and she'll call all four of her other four. She'll call four of her other sisters and go, "Can you fucking believe what Dad? What could you believe? Holy shit!" And probably three out of the four of them are gonna go, "Well, what did you expect him to do?" Right? They're
right.
not like that,
Yeah.
right? And then the probably the youngest one will go, "Oh, you poor muffin. So what are you gonna do about it?" You know.
That's
So I
funny.
don't
That's
care.
just like my kids. Yeah. That's just like
Exactly,
my
right?
kids.
No, the good
My,
thing is, and a good thing is that, the sisters are all very close. They do
yeah.
a lot of talking. They're all, even though they're scattered all over the world, they're all very, very close. So they
Yeah.
do have each other, and that is a great thing. They don't just have to rely on dad. But one time I said to one of my kids, you got four or five older sisters. Go ask some of them. Ask each one of them for $100 and see what happens.
Yeah.
Dead air,
Oh
dead
man. No,
air.
my daughter, I talked to my mom later and she's like, yeah, she told me that she needed that. I was like, I just gave her money for that. Like, so she
Yeah,
went to my mom and got money, and then she got money for me.
yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Played.
that's when I started like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, you got
I'm gonna
played.
make sure, yeah, it goes where it's supposed to.
Yeah, yeah.
Kumail says, I'm the middle one and I never put my parents in trouble. Rather than I tried to improve and help the situation. Well, Kumail, welcome to the Western world.
Yeah. Camille is
Like,
good. I'd be happy to adopt you. I really
yeah, me
would.
too. Me too. Anytime, Kumail. That's, this is all I wanted. That's the mindset I wanted my kids to have. And a 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but then
Yeah.
the third one come around, right? So I know
Yeah.
that at the end of the day, like, she just needs to get a little bit older. She's a little bit slower to get there than the other two, and that's okay. I'm just gonna give her that, but I gotta be careful. I
Well,
gotta be smart about
everybody at their own pace, right?
it.
Just
Yeah,
because a couple of the
they're
other
so
kids are,
different.
well, they are, and just because a couple of
Yeah,
the other kids have set the bar here, right? This is where they are. Doesn't mean that I should expect that all of my kids are up there, right?
no, you can't.
Each child, and because of the age difference between them, I can't expect, say the 23-year-old to be at the level where the 33-year-old is, right?
Not at
You
all.
can't. You want them to be, but you can't expect them to
You're like,
be.
you think in your head, like, why can't you just watch your other sister and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
duh, get
Oh,
it?
do you know how
But
many
oh man,
times I've said that? Do you know how many times I've said
oh,
that?
it makes the demons come out. Like,
Oh
no,
my
no, no.
God.
God, they
Oh
go
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's good on you for look. That's that's another thing aside from all that we've already talked about. Like, to be a father of that many girls, like, kudos, high five. Like,
Let me tell you.
wow,
The,
I
the,
can't
the,
imagine. Like, I had 3, dude, and it almost freaking killed me. Like,
well,
you know,
again, to go back on, I am blessed. Like I said, like we went to the Dominican and then we went to Toronto. So I got to spend some time with my mom. I haven't seen her in a while, but I got to spend some good quality time with, the two youngest daughters.
yeah.
And then, I got to spend a couple of days with the, hold on, the youngest one and, I don't know anyway. So I've had the opportunity in the last month to spend time with all of my kids, with the exception of the two oldest, right? Because the oldest one lives in Bali,
Right.
Indonesia, and the second oldest, she lives in Australia. But we are going to visit there,
Yay.
so that will be, that'll be another good. I haven't seen her, like, been physically able to put my arms around my daughter and see her in probably 2 years, 2.5 years.
No, and
So,
you have time now because your work
and I
schedule is
do. So
crazy.
now
Yeah.
we're making the time to, like I said, we went to the Dominican, but then we spent time in Toronto. So we took that extra time there, and then
Yeah.
we're going we're going overseas. We're going to Europe in May, and we're going to be spending a month over there. You know that already, but
Yeah.
and I'm going to be seeing some good friends over there, and then I'm going to be going to Australia to see that daughter. So I'm trying the best I can to make up for the quality of the time that I'm spending with these kids
Yeah, no,
because
it's gonna
I
be
pissed
great.
away so much time.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it now. This was the whole point. At some point in your career, it's time to go get your time back, right? And
It
then you
is.
enjoy the rest of your time. And so I'm
It
really
is.
happy for you. This is so great.
Yeah.
Like it's so awesome.
But
I just love it.
wait until I tell you what's going on in Europe. Because I already
You
told you that we were
gonna
going,
tell
right?
me now or is it a secret?
No,
Okay. All
I'll
right.
tell you. Okay. But wait till I tell you because you're going to lose your shit because I did.
I'm already like, I'm mental, like going
Yeah.
on right now. I'm so
Well,
excited. I can't even contain myself. Like, so I'm excited. But anyways, it's about noon. Well, it's about 1. And thank you for lasting 3 hours with me, Wheel Burner. And
we've been doing
Sterling,
this
thank
three
you for
hours?
coming on. I'm about ready to go get my shower and do some driving for the rest of the afternoon. This went good and long, but the conversation was wonderful. I love you and thank you for coming on and sharing all the good news that's going on in your life.
I love
And
you
I'm sure
too.
the kids appreciate it. And so, are you going to be doing some content soon, just so the kids know to be looking out for
Um,
that?
Not in the next couple of weeks. Not in the next
Okay.
couple. Like I said, when I've got content or I've got, when I've got content that I can make that doesn't have to focus around me, where I can make the content or do the live stream and have the focus on somebody else or something else, then I'm going to start. And I've already got ideas and things that I want to do, but uh, nobody wants to hear about me anymore, right? I'm not that important.
I
But
do.
what can be
Florida does, and Kamal does, and
yeah,
Sterling
well,
does, and Red Lady
I
does,
when
probably.
I've got content that doesn't involve my personal life, then say, right, because and even part of my business life or my work life, I don't talk about on YouTube either, again, because I got burnt before. So nobody knows what I'm doing, nobody knows where I'm invested or what I'm up to. Nobody knows. You do. Like I said, guard
No,
dog
it's okay.
knows, and a
I
couple
just
other
didn't
people know.
know if you were keeping the channel like semi-active anymore, like what your future plans was or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
we're gonna the channel's flat right now. Like I could probably go live right now and I might get 5 people, right? Because the algorithm's flat. I haven't done anything. I haven't put any content up, and that's by choice, and that's fine,
Yeah,
right? That's fine. I'm good with that. Um, well, when it comes time to get back to YouTube work, I'll get back to work and I'll start making content. But at least I want it to be something that's with sustenance. I don't want it to be just dribble drab of, oh, here I am sitting in my backyard, look what this or look what. No, 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 you know
well,
what,
I thought
forget it.
the sunrise lives were going pretty well. I thought seemed like there was a lot of activity at the sunrise, which
No,
that's
the
always good.
sunrise lives were actually really good, but then the weather started to change, and that time slot where I was doing that got filled in with something else, and
Yeah,
it took priority. So then I started doing them a little later in the morning or early afternoon in the backyard, and then you know what, something else, something always comes to me, and it's not by my design. Something is presented to me, and it's a, hey, you know what? That's a pretty good idea. Why don't I explore that? And then I explore it. And
yeah,
YouTube is always going to take a back seat to whatever it is, whether it, especially if it be my family, my relationship with Victoria,
yeah,
or certain business aspects of what I do. So,
yeah,
and if all three of those are going full blast, there's very little time for YouTube.
yeah.
And I
I
check
don't
in
blame you.
and I check in. I love it when you go live. Like you've been live a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. I always pop in. I always say hi. And then I just sit back and do whatever else I'm doing. And I'll sit and I'll listen to you gab for 45 minutes or an hour or however long you go.
Well, you are welcome to join me anytime, as long as I can keep the StreamYard way it's just touch and go. So
Well,
you're
I
welcome to
love
come on anytime to this channel and hang out and talk about whatever if you want
I
to.
love what you do. I
The
love
kids are here.
I love what you do. I love what you say. I love the way you think. I just love you.
I love you too.
I'm
And
getting
thank you so much.
I'm getting mushy here, so I'm going outside where it's nice and cold because I can't get
Well, I
mushy now.
want to just tell you that I appreciate you taking this time to share with us. And so it's good for everybody in the chat who loves you, and all the people in there that they wanted to see your face once again and make sure you're doing okay. So thanks for the check-in today.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me. It's great to
All
see
right.
you. It's great to see the chat. It's great to see, it's great to see everybody that's still around. I know they're around because I talk to them in the backside, but hey, it's always nice to stick up here and I
Yeah.
love talking to you anyway. So now I don't have to have a 4-hour conversation on the phone with you. Now I only have to have a
No,
20-minute because
we
we've already done it
yeah,
now.
we
There
did
you
it.
go.
Yeah, everybody, this is how me and Wilbur talk on the phone. Like, we get into some really deep and spiritual things and happy things and mushy things and all kinds of stuff, and then throw some trucking things in there. And so this is how we talk on the phone. It's just the same. But anyways, I missed you and I love you and I'm so happy for you. And please give Victoria a big hello from all of us.
I will.
And yeah, and we'll talk soon on the rest of the stuff that you promised me. Okay.
All right. Okay, honey. I'll talk
All
to you
right.
later. I love you.
Talk to you later. Love you too. Thanks. Okay, that was wonderful. As always, I'm so glad he had time to come in and talk to us today. But yeah, we just hit 3 hours, guys. And there's a few of you darlings that have stuck it out this long, and I love you for that. And for everybody else out there who might be watching on the replay, thanks for watching all the way through. I'm going to say God bless you for the week. Stay safe. Stay out that nasty cold weather off the ice in these big trucks. And definitely keep your eye on the weather. We're entering that season. And yeah, tell Wheelburner happy birthday on his channel. My birthday's in 7 days, which I guess is that next Sunday? When does that hit? When does my birthday happen? I don't even know. Let's look at the calendar. I'm losing my voice already. It's time for Dee Dee to go potty anyway. Like 3 hours is a bit much. My birthday is next Sunday. So we will probably have a Sunday happy birthday live for me on this channel. And that'll be my birthday live. So love you too, Tolga. Thank you. And Kamal, so great to see you checking in. I'm so glad you're all right. And it's going to get better, brother. Just hang in there. If it's 7 days, yeah, next Sunday. So unless I squeeze some content in during this week, but I am going to Florida and it's a beautiful day, so I'm going to get out there and do something. I still need to take my shower and do my laundry real quick and hit the road. So that's my advice for this week. Watch the weather, stay safe, and I myself am going to stay south and stay in the sun. So until next time, God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out for the deep chat with Wheelburner. It's such a treat to have him and Sterling on today. And I'm going to say cheers and have a great rest of the weekend. Love ya.